Welcome, everybody. Here we are in Wales, round 5 of the Motul ACU British Motocross Championship. There it is, Monster Mountain, and what a monster it is. My name's Jeff Perrett, again, joined by Phil G. We love doing these. We hope you love them too. Get liking and subscribing straight away. Get on it, because you're in for a whole day of brilliant action.
Yeah, it's the weather. I mean, you can see the puddles there in the background. The weather here this week has been pretty monumentally awful. Our MXGP crew have worked tirelessly all week to get this track up to prep and get everything all set out for us this weekend. But we've got a beautiful sunny day, not a sparrow's breath of wind, and we're really ready for 6 brilliant motos, Jeff. As you just said, make sure that you like and subscribe to us on our Facebook on MXGB TV, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and also on FIM-moto.tv, where if you can go and subscribe to that, you will get all sorts of other free action from across all motorsport platforms in Europe, and that will help us out no end. But we're here and we are revved for what is round 5. It's the downhill stretch, 4 rounds to go, and it's been fantastic.
It has to this point, and as we said, coming here is a big deal. The huge amount of effort that Darren Lewis and his team have put in up here. I mean, when we first came up here, when me and Neil Irwin first came up here, the rain was coming down, literally 45-degree angle. It was almost getting blown off our feet, and I'm like, really? Is this really going to become a venue? Yeah, and obviously running it more in the middle of or towards summer has definitely helped. You can now see, for those of you that know British motocross, it's now starting to grass over and all the infield. It's all starting to look like a proper, massive venue, because it is now one of the biggest motocross venues in the UK.
Yeah, and not only that, we've got another track at the back back of where we are at the minute, which is almost as big as this as well. So a fantastic facility, really, really easy to get to as well. Pretty much dual carriageway all the way here for us from the Midlands. So and you can see there the grass that was pretty scarce when they first opened this facility. Now well and truly taken hold. My first visit to this place, and I have to say, so far I'm impressed. I've had a good walk around watching practice this morning, all the 3 classes, and I think we're going to see some really, really good racing, Jeff.
Yeah, it is a GP spec track. Let's not underestimate that, because when this whole concept came about, Darren and his team wanted to obviously shoot for that standard. The track design, LP and Justin have come in. Obviously, you know those guys. They do a lot of tracks in the UK. And that was very much the case. The jumps are behemoth. I mean, but they're big and safe, so you're going to see plenty of air time. Even so, they're so big that even some of the 125s are really having to huck-a-buck to get over them.
Yeah, I was talking to Drew Stock just briefly. They were just on the way back from the signing session. The queue for the signing session at the hospitality was massive, and he was saying that this morning in their wet practice and qualifying, he was struggling to get over a couple of the obstacles. And hopefully, as it dries out, and bearing in mind that, like I say, it's been really, really wet here all week, and we've had our crew out watering. They're there at the moment picking water up from the Bowser. The whole of this track can be watered from externally. You've got the track that runs all the way around the outside, as the Americans have it all set up. So all of this stuff can be done really easily and quickly without it putting any stress on the racetrack.
Honestly, Phil, the effort they've put in, that is what you're seeing there is like a kind of made reservoir, but they actually pump water. They got a huge pipe that pumps water up this man-made mountain, and brings the water up to that reservoir. So we've got an endless supply of water. As you can see, it looks fabulous. It's going to be, like you said, really good racing. It's a wide open flowing track. It's more of, obviously it's been built from scratch. So it's more what we'd say a modern motocross track.
Yes.
You know, we're still going to some venues that obviously we get like Leng, two rounds ago. They were racing there before the war.
Yes.
So this is built for modern motocross.
And it is great to see what is a relatively new facility getting a British Championship round again. I think the last time we were here was in 2023, which I think it was the final round of the series as well, which I think Conrad Muse took the title that year. But like I say, you can see how dry it is on the external parts of the track that are dry, but this was... It was unbelievable. Even me arriving yesterday morning, I could not have believed that we would get it to dry out as much. And some lovely little parts of the track we can just see in the bottom left-hand corner. That's a fantastic off-camber. Yeah. They've built an off-camber turn, Jeff, and it's so good to see riders being tested on stuff like that. So
absolutely.
And yeah, and like I say, even as good as the drone shot is, you have no idea how high up we are.
No, and it's just such a vast venue, of course. So 75 years of British motocross. We'll touch on that more as we go on. So let's get down to the business of what's going on today, the format, and what you're going to see. So, Phil, obviously, we're going to start with the 125s.
We are.
Yeah, always entertaining those young kids.
Look, it's been a really good championship so far, the RFX 125 Championship. They are going to be first on the gate at 12 o'clock. Followed by our MX2 and our Jude Morris Foundation under 21 MX2 race at 12:45, and our Pico Factory Racing MX1 Moto 1 will be at 25 to 2, and then we'll do it all again. MX 125s at 2:30, MX2 at 3:15, and our final Pico Factory Racing MX1 race will go off the line at 4:05. And hopefully our trophy presentation and everything at 5 o'clock. But that is your set schedule for your Monster Mountain round 5. We've got, like I say, pretty much a set schedule for our Motul ACU British Championship now. Everybody knows what they're going to get here and get practice and qualifying underway in the morning, and the races, pretty much happen. There's a few of the guys looking round the circuit. So that's our lap scoring and TV compound there. Here's the track, Jeff. So track type dirt, technicality 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Yeah. Now you see, technically, I think we've been to more advanced technical circuits, but the dirt here is a tricky one. It's good, don't get me wrong, but this is a man-made mountain, and it has some kind of flint and rock in it, which just traction is not always primo in all the corners. You've got to kind of roll that throttle on nicely because there's little stones in it that make the wheel spin up. So yeah, but it's a fast-flowing circuit and a beautiful fast first corner as well. It's like a Talladega. I can't even say the word.
You can't say Talladega. I nicknamed it Talladega earlier on
I was just going to cheat and say Glen Helen. I should have just said Glen Helen, but I messed that right up. It doesn't matter. But it's a lovely sweeping first corner, safe and fast. But yeah.
15 degrees here then. We opted for shorts. You opted for shorts this morning. I've changed at lunchtime. It is a nice, pleasant day here in the Welsh Valleys, and we're really pleased to be bringing you all of the action. Let's have a bit of a recap on our championship positions then as we go along. Our RFX 125 guys then, like I say, they will be coming to the line first. And Drew Stock, our championship leader, I would run away. Yes, comfortable championship leader. He's only got 35 points on Harley Marjak, and Marjak's had a few not great races, but he's qualified fastest today, Jeff.
Super impressed with the kid. I've said it before. Caught me a little bit off guard at the start of the year. Remember, he stepped up from the 85s. I was expecting him to be in and around top 10, pushing on towards top 5s. But honestly, that first race of the year at Hawkstone, when he actually was in it as a 13-year-old kid and chased down Drew Stock, and stat, it was quite an achievement. And he's there, like you said, he's knocking on the door, because Drew Stock has only lost one race to this point.
Yeah, and then that was obviously that
Brian
was
Giles. That was
Brian Giles at Ling. Also, props to Joel with Stanley Dawson. He is sitting there in third in the championship, having DNF'd at the last round at Landrake. They had a technical in, I think, Moto 2. But Joel, again, another guy that's come up off an 85, first year in the championship, still young. And he is up there doing good things. Ollie Waters in there doing well. Archie Stapley, Alfie Heron, he's been and done a few EMX rounds, Lucas Moncrief, and also not featured in the top 10 is Hayden Stout on the Chambers KTM, who is back this week.
He is back. Now, been following a little bit on social media, but I've got to say, when we first saw that injury and he turned up to the races and he was in a big neck body brace and, okay. So great that he's back.
Yes.
I certainly wasn't expecting him to be back at this point after that injury. I thought it'd be another couple of rounds. But there you go, he's back.
Yeah, and obviously they've not rushed that. They've gone through the proper procedure, and the doctors are really happy with the way that it's gone. So good to see him back. Here is our MX2 then, and Charlie Heyman, 37 points to the good of a new second place man, Ben Musto, who it was so good to see the AC United gas man back up his 2024 form at Landrake with an overall victory there. He moved to second in the championship as a result of that. Tommy Searle sits there in third, 43 points back. And then it's Gian Dunson, Billy Askew, Joe Brooks switching from Triumph to Honda mid-season, Charlie Richmond, Joel Rizzi, Josh Vow and Ollie Coleman. But that is a very, very tight top 10.
I didn't. Brooks wasn't out there this morning. I understand. I didn't see him out there. I think he got injured in the week, I believe.
Yes, that's what I heard. I didn't see him, and so unfortunately, Joe Brooks not with us this weekend. But he's been having a good year in EMX. And he's showing that he's got a decent turn of speed at the world level in EMX. And obviously, we saw him take a victory last year. Not quite got there this year yet, as our riders there in the holding area starting to form for what will be our first race of the day. There is the Under-21 Championship, and because of the way that this is scored, basically it's the same championship but without Tommy Searle, because everybody else...
It virtually is,
but the points do change, and Ben Muster only 28 adrift in the Under-21s, so that's good to see. Gian Doonson, he is there in third on the Gabriel SS24 KTM. He's been going well in EMX. He had a really good run out in Latvia. Charlie Richmond there in fourth. I'm impressed with Charlie on the True 7 Crendon Honda. He's finding his feet in the class and doing pretty decent. Billy Askew in fifth. Brooks, we've already spoke about. Josh Vale on the Phoenix Talks Fantic. Ollie Colmer. Jamie Keith, who was very, very fast this morning. We'll come to that later on. And Tyler Hooley on the Leeds Pallets. I think it's a KTM. He is there in 10th place, and he's missed a round because he wasn't with us at Landrake. So that is your Under-21s. And that MX2 class is very tight. Been impressed with Charlie Heyman and the way that he's gone about his business. And I feel that there is a belief in him that what is happening and the way that he's riding is a result of everything that he's done over the last couple of seasons. And talking to Team Boss Neil Prince yesterday, they've not been at EMX rounds or anything, but they are scheduled to do the final 3 rounds of the AMA. So that's good for them.
Oh, amazing. Great, and we've seen how the SC team do that in previous years, and it works great. How can you not get your speed doing AMA? So Charlie looking good in that class. We'll get back to that more later on. MX1, well, there's a different equation this weekend again. I'll let you.
Yes, so Jefrey Herlings, the bullet, is back for his second visit of the 2026 season here at Monster Mountain on the factory HRC Honda Patronus. For those of you following the World Championship, obviously Jeffrey still giving Lucas Coonan a good run for his money in that, but he is here today, and obviously he will be looking to take victory. He's no stranger to Monster Mountain. No. He comes and races here on a Wednesday. He loves the place.
He's ridden here more times than some Brits.
He has. But Conrad Muse has the red plate on the front of that Crendon True 7 Honda, the Apico factory racing 450 class for the first time this season. It's been backwards and forwards kind of between Ben and Aurel Oliver. They've shared it a couple of times, but now it is in the hands of Conrad Muse by just a point from Ben Watson on the Dirt Store Triumph with 176 to Muse's 177. Aurel Oliver, he is there on 165, and a very, very impressive Taylor Hamill there in fourth, 143 points. He's 34 points adrift of the lead. But he's been good. He led a race for quite a long while. I think he led at Ling, and he also led at Landrake as well. He's got
a different dilemma this weekend, Taylor Hamill. His girlfriend may go into labour today over the weekend. Now, you imagine that. He's been chasing this podium position, right, and he's been close a few times. Imagine if he's there, and then after the first race, he's got to skid it out of here.
Well,
we wish whatever. We hope that all goes well, obviously. But I was told that Taylor might have to exit stage left if he gets the call.
Yeah, that's something that obviously. But it just goes to show that these guys that are doing this, they've got normal lives and they're going through all the same stuff that everybody else goes through, as well as trying to be a pro motocrosser. But Taylor Hamill, he's got a day job as well. So fair play to him, and that Kawasaki has been going very, very well. And I would dearly love to see him nab a podium.
It would be great. I was told that by Matt Greenoff, though, so he could be on a massive wind-up, and I've got that completely... I hope that...
Imagine that.
If you've set me up with that Greenoff, I'm telling you, I'm having you for that. So I hope that is true. Not that I don't believe everything that Matt says. So here we go. Yeah, the 125s. Obviously, this is going to be great. Remember, we are also going out on FIM TV. So big up to everybody that's tuning in with there all over Europe and all over the world. Thank you for that. Remember, keep pressing that like and subscribe. Get that bell ringing so you never miss a round when we come. You'll get that reminder on YouTube when we go live.
Yeah, and all that stuff makes a difference to our algorithm. And like I say, like and share, it really, really does make a difference. We do read the comments. We've got somebody here in the luxurious TV booth. After Landrake, our summer holiday in Phil Congdon's double-decker bus. We really enjoyed that. Don't forget also to tune into the Prox Pit Pass later on in the week. That's something that goes out and just basically recaps all of the action after each of the rounds, all of the stuff that we miss, because obviously we're in the booth, we get to see what's on camera. There's lots of stuff going on behind the thing. I only found out yesterday, saw the picture of Aurel Oliver's crash at Landrake, where he crashed on the backside of the jump that we were the other side of in the opening race, where
we don't get to see it.
And we didn't see it. And Stevie Clark led across the line on the start, and we were obviously going nuts about that. And we were like, oh, where's Oriol gone? And he was on the floor out of our sight. So all of that kind of stuff.
Good old Clarky.
He's not here this weekend.
No, but he doesn't need to be, because he'll be dining out on that for about the next 2 years.
Oh, did I tell you about? No, but fair play to him. But there we are. Obviously, the pit boxes at the moment all fairly quiet, because everybody is going to be in the start gate there in the holding area.
And you can see this well-branded and massive circuit. So actually, I think we need to buy more branding when we come to Monster Mountain to do the whole circuit. But you can see our partners, notably Dirt Store, obviously, that makes this happen with the live stream big time, along with other partners as well.
RFX in there.
Pico, RFX, but obviously Motul as well as title sponsors of the championship. We've got all kinds of things going on. We've got Stasic here as well. There's a little tryout area on balance bikes. So if you come along with your kids at some rounds, we don't do that all rounds, but they're here with this one, so that's pretty cool. Camelback, we've got a bunch of partners. You'll see them throughout. We're going to play, obviously, commercials throughout this broadcast. And without these guys, Michelin as well, of course. We got the Academy there last night as well with the Youth Academy, so they're getting behind it. Talking of that, a perfect time and segue to go to an ad break talking about partners. So we're going to quickly do that. Don't go too far away. Welcome back, everybody, to Monster Mountain Round 5, as we mentioned, of the Motul. There you are, bang on cue, ACU British Motocross Championship. We are not far away now from getting this thing underway with the 125 class, brought to you by RFX. So a little quick rundown in qualifying. As we said, Hayden Stapp making his return to racing.
Yeah,
pretty
good to
solid
see.
in qualifying.
Yeah, he did pretty well. Third place for Hayden, and like I say, he's back after quite a serious injury. But yeah, talking to the team yesterday, they've gone through, done everything as they should. Doctor's orders. There is your championship. They're the qualifying. So Harley Marjak qualifying fastest from Drew Stock by the smallest of margin, 0.02 of a second. With Hayden Stapp there in third, Finley J fourth, Lucas Moncrief in fifth, Stapley sixth, Joe Winstanley Dawson seventh, Waters eighth, Harry Hall in ninth, and Chris Brindley in 10th, who had a big digger. I saw Brindley riding in with half of that bike missing, so a good recovery from Brindley, unless he got the fast lap in before he stepped off. But that is your RFX qualifiers. A return for Arthur Moore on the TM in 11th, so good to see him back. Then Jensen 7, Alfie Heron, Chase Panther, new name to me, William Wood, Archie Butterfield, Harvey Collins, Chad Prince inside the top 20, son of Neil Prince, and Oliver Rees-Williams in there in 19th and 20th, Oakley Kettle.
One noticeable admission to that, I didn't see Alfie get as green out there this morning, and he wasn't in qualifying, so I don't actually know the backstory of that. I don't know if he's picked up an injury, but obviously he was faring relatively well in the championship.
Yeah, it's all a bit pear-shaped for him, isn't it?
Obviously at Ling he rode really well, so that was pretty impressive. So as we just get into this, as we said, there's going to be it's a kind of going to be an emotional weekend here for many reasons at Monster Mountain. We'll get onto that in a minute. But again, just big shout out to all our partners, particularly Dirt Store, for making this happen with MXGP TV, Motul. Like we said, all these guys, we're going to go through them all at the weekend. Pico sponsors the class as well. But yeah, so as we said, there is, we're going to be looking at some silence coming up now, and I'll let you cue this up, Phil.
We go into ours now. Yeah, so unfortunately, we lost Keith.
Welcome to Club Dirt Store, the new way to shop off-road. Stack up points with every order. Then bend your points for discounts. Join the club for free today.
So welcome back then to Monster Mountain. And a sombre moment now as we mark the passing of Keith Thorpe, father of three-time world champion Dave Thorpe, who sadly passed away this week. A man known to pretty much all of the paddock throughout the whole of Dave Thorpe's career. My first meeting with him was in the mid-70s when Dave was a schoolboy on a Suzuki. And one of the kind of enduring father and son partnerships through the whole of British motocross, 3 world championships, and everybody at the track marches respects and sends their condolences to the whole of the Thorpe family, to Dave and Ryan and all of the Crendon True 7 team at this time. And like I say, Jeff, a sad loss to the sport.
Absolutely, yeah. We just had a minute's silence at the track there while we were running that advert break. So we had a little moment just thinking of Keith. I mean, for me, the memory of Keith, but standing memory is actually watching the Duke marketing videos when Dave won his first world title at Wolan, and they interviewed him afterwards, and just like the tears of pride building up in his eyes, and I'll always remember that. And the time I spent with him when we in California, I got to know Keith pretty well.
Yeah,
used to go breakfast with him every morning at Mimi's Cafe in Corona.
Yeah, I mean, obviously your involvement with as a pro rider, Jeff. For me, as a fan of those guys, looking over the fences at you and them guys back in the day. So such a great time in British motocross, and the fact that that Keith was there through all of his factory career as his spanner man, unbelievable. And obviously we saw a video released by the guys there at the Crendon True 7 and the Honda Off-Road Centre down there only a couple of months ago, with them looking round one of Dave's ex-championship bikes, which was one of the nicest things, to seeing the joy in his eyes. So a real, they called him the Colonel, but he was the man. Everybody knows who he was, and a sad loss to the sport, and things will never be the same.
No, well, he was just such a calming influence, really. Just so methodically professional. We used to talk about his time in the army and how it gave him the discipline and everything to be
Yes.
end up, it just seemed to always seem completely unflustered. Even
Yes.
that pressure pot of taking his son, not even as a mechanic, bearing in mind, he was a mechanic, and it was his son going for a world title.
Yes.
You're not just the mechanic. To stay emotional, like all those things, and guide Dave to that. And let's be honest, with a bit more luck, Dave would have had even more world titles. So, the Colonel will be missed, no doubt about it.
And nice to remember him. And like I say, our commiserations and good thoughts to the Thorpe family at this time. And we wish the Crendon True 7 team, they're all here. They were all here yesterday. And we hope they have a decent weekend to remember Keith by. But here we are, RFX 125s then on the line. Our fastest qualifier was Harley Marjak from Drew Stock and Haydenstadt, as we saw earlier on. Where are you going on the gate here, Jeff?
I would be middle of the left-hand side of the doghouse. Basically, I wouldn't be too far up the inside. I mean, I know it's a big, fast, sweeping corner, but still, just over a bit. So if you get a good drop, you really can keep it lit.
So here we go then, 5-second board is up. Oh, a few trigger fingers away they go. Oh, who's going to get the break?
Not Drew Stock. He has been...
Is that Marjak down the inside? It is.
It is.
And it's the 484 of Stapley, Jeff, around the outside.
Wow, look at that. Moncrief there as well, and the red squeezing him out. So 3 Yamahas up front, but I've got to say the 2 S. Briggs boys, dynamic out the actual gate and up the start straight, but Marzak, he has grown, seemingly to me, about another half foot since I saw him at Landrake. I mean, he's a 13-year-old kid, but already, he's a big old unit for 13 years of age.
Oh, it looks like...
Looks great, though.
Didn't see where Hayden's stat was off the start, but obviously we will get our live timing through as they come through at the end of the first lap. So down the back end of the circuit now, a nice jump here. There's some real nice technical bits to this Monster Mountain circuit.
That looks like stat, I think, isn't it, out there?
It
in
does.
This Troy Lee kit.
Stock, yeah.
Yeah, in second.
Stock with the red plate, he is there in third. And as a result of that, I'd say Stock will be... wanting to not give up too many points to Harley Marjak this weekend.
Now they're on it with the water in here. You saw it at the start of the show. You saw them out there with the fire hydrants, almost like AMA and GP. But it's windy. It gets windy up here as well. This track will dry out quite quick. So they're going to keep on top of that. But it will get technical. It's already got technical. There are some pretty lengthy ruts coming in and out of these corners already, Phil, isn't there?
Yes.
This is that off-camber bit that you love. Yeah, doesn't look anything from there, does it?
No.
When you go over
it's
there...
this over that bit there. It's pretty cool. And you can see already dust starting to kick up. The stones are going to come to the surface. This is the kind of track where I'll be running 2 sets of handguards and a yellow pages taped to the back of me hands. This is a really technical section. That's quite rutty along there, Jeff.
Yeah.
So you've got to get that right. You need to be going up and down in the right place. But as they come round to complete with the first complete lap, but they will come across the line for the first time, and we will get our K-Tech tower up the side of the screen, hopefully. But it is Marjak that leads.
Yeah, then Haydenstadt, Drew Stock, Finley J, Lucas Moncrief, Archie Stapley, then Arthur Moore on the TM. That's a pretty comprehensive block out of the blue bikes at the front there at the minute on this opening. Now, Ollie Waters, great to see Ollie back getting in the thick of it after a very difficult bit of off-season with injuries and coming back to fitness. He was good last time out at Landrake.
So that's the step up that Drew Stock was saying he was having trouble with. But Marjak looking absolutely on point. 1.7 across the line. They've dropped Finley J to the tune of 7.5 seconds on that first lap, Jeff. That's incredible speed from the front three.
I tell you, that is some margin, because it's a big old wide track, and you wouldn't expect them to to be dropped. That it's not like they got pinched up, all the ones behind. He is setting some pace out here already. Great to see Hayden Stapp back. I mean, scary moment for him. You never want to see a rider with a neck injury and all those things. And I obviously speaking to his dad, Craig, not long after it happened, he's like, "Oh, that put the wind up me, that whole thing."
But like I say, they've done it properly. They've gone through the proper channels, had good medical advice on it, and they just said, yeah, he's good and ready to go. And do you know what? I'm trying to think, but for all of the rounds that we've had earlier on this year, and obviously I know that he's missed a couple, this is the first time I've seen him get a decent start. Yeah. And I'm just thinking, he's always been, we've looked at him and he's been like just outside the top 10 having to fight his way through. Oh, there's the 67 off in the barrel, that's Jaden Smith, so he's just like he's gone over the berm there.
Okay, so Phoenix Tools Vast Laps. It's no real surprise. It's against basically Hayden Stapp. Not Hayden Stapp, Harley Marzak taking the quickest lap of the race, which was pretty much that first opening full lap.
A couple of riders down there, Jeff. I think one of those might have been Alfie Heron on the TM. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, he's dropping down lead. Shame again, because he's putting together a brilliant championship, the rider from Ireland. He's currently in 6th in the championship. Switched over to TM machinery next year. This year, after being on I think Yamaha last year.
Hayden Stapp is not letting this one get away.
Well, this could be a bit of a story if he comes back from injury and picks up a race win. Long way to go, of course. And Marzak is such a tough little cookie compared. Well, he's not little. Keep saying he's little. By age, he is, not by in his stature.
But is this the first one of these that we've seen Marzak actually lead out, Jeff, as well?
Well, I mean, Drew Stock has been so good out of the start. Most championship rounds, he's basically controlled the race, most races from the front, isn't he?
Yes, he has done that.
As far as I can remember, must have led an awful lot of laps.
Look, if he gets the gate, he's gone. And the only time that he didn't manage to take the race win was when him and Brian Giles did that synchronised tip over at Ling. So he's been dominant, or a little bit of a moment there for Hayden Stapp.
And even then, he was only led for like 20 feet.
Yes.
I mean, that was literally it.
It was the 20 feet that mattered, having said that.
Yeah, but he's led an awful lot of laps. But I tell you, he's not finding the pace to live with these two at the minute. He is being, as you can see, dropped. The gap between these two is basically, it's out to 5 seconds, give or take, for Marzak to stop.
So it's a two-rider battle at the front, and obviously with the gap at 0.94 of a second, we'll not be going anywhere anytime soon. We're going to be chasing this one. It's a lot of pressure for Marzak at the front then on the Briggs Racing Yamaha. Like I say, one of the youngest guys in the class. I think he is 14 now, so he has had a birthday, had a little bit of a mistake there, and that's going to slow him down a little bit down this straight. He just needs to get this absolutely spot on. You can see Stapp is closing in quickly because he managed to get one hop earlier in the beginning of that straight.
Here it comes. I think they've just tamed down that Camel's. Oh, he's got that inside low, hard to take from there. Hayden, though, very early in the race, putting some genuine heat on here. We have had 6:43 on the clock go. We've got 13 minutes, obviously, plus the extra laps to do. They are just, look at that. It's now gone out to nearly 8 seconds.
That is
from start to stop. They are absolutely flying. Of course, Drew is in a nice position championship-wise. He's got a 35-point lead over Marzak, but you can't be just letting them go at this stage, I would imagine.
No, and say the K-Tech Tower telling us the story of the race. And again, they're bouncing up there onto that tabletop. Is Stack going to have a move down the inside? So do you sit there and just keep the pressure on, Jeff, or do you make a pass in the hope that you can go away?
I mean, for Hayden, I would probably, in the position that he's in, coming back from injury, if he's feeling it, great. I'd just sit there for a bit because he's caught him up. The trouble is, the roost. I mean, the 125s are not as bad as when you're behind a 450, admittedly, but still, he is getting filled in with wet dirt, little stones, little rocks. So maybe in that sense, go by if he's confident enough. He's obviously a bigger, stronger lad. There's, 3 years age difference in these two, I think. So, he's fired. There's another reason why Hayden would be fired. I think he's bitterly disappointed that he's missed out on being selected. Oh, there's the move, Phil. I think he's got the inside in the next corner.
Down the inside, yes. Nice move. Oh, he's come back at him straight away.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So that wide, he couldn't hold that tight line. And real smart riding from Marzak. He's like, well...
It shows how nice the track is, though, Jeff. As an alternative. Marzak's having to ride the lines to keep Stat at bay. And he comes straight back at him.
Oh, I'm trying to work out. Can't see who that is.
Brindley? That's Chris Brindley, I believe.
Yeah, looks like it. Another rider having a good championship.
He was my guy. He was my tip for third in the series at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with him last year, but not having the run of things.
Oh, look at that. They changed lines there. So Marzak, being really smart, realised that...
doing the Hayden Deegan line a little bit there. Just slightly the wrong side of the marker. Let's just have a look at the rest of the guys then. Stockton a distant 7 seconds back, just keeping his powder dry, out the roost. And then it's Finley J, Lucas Moncrief out... Moore there in 6. That's a good ride from him. Arthur Moore on the TM. Then it's Stapley, Ollie Waters, Joe and Stanley Dawson, and Brindley, who we think has crashed out of 10th place. We'll wait and see when they come across the line. That will move.
Working it lovely. I'll tell you, that's a stretch. For those 125s to get actually fully up on top of them.
Yes,
they really got to commit to that.
I was down there watching in practice and qualification this morning, Jeff, and they were properly having to throw those 125s at it to get a nice rhythm, and if you didn't get it, the difference in speed at the end was massive. Stat already then found a way past Harley Marzak. Is he going to try the same thing again in the same place, or is he just going to sit there and think, well, I know I can do it, I'm just going to make a better job of it? Or has Marzak pulled the pin?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, they're so young. Where's Hayden Stat going? Okay, well, I mean, I guess no harm, no foul. I mean, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah,
I think the ACU rule book, you've got to try and join back the track in a safe area. I'm not sure, like back in the old days, you had to genuinely spin it back round as where you fit.
Yes,
but I think the rules slightly different.
But the
now.
thing was then there was actually a fence, and you had to go back through the hole that you just created. But look, he's lost a bunch of time there, Jeff. It was 0.7 across the line, and he's not even in shot now. So I think that that is the toe lost. And whether Stat can pull the time back on that Chambers KTM, they were swapping forks out when I was here in having a walk around yesterday. Been working on getting suspension done, and obviously not having a lot of race time.
No. Good save.
That was a good save.
Luckily, he had that leg not where it should have been, and it almost acted as a stabiliser there and popped him back up. You're absolutely right, Phil. Bear in mind, like Hayden, fitness might sell. Now, he's a fit young man, but bearing in mind he was in a body brace, and there's only so much physical training you can do in a body brace to keep your fitness. Bearing in mind also, obviously, he hasn't actually had race time and bike time for a couple of months. So, yes, he's fit, he's young, obviously that helps, but there's no substitute for racing. And this is just maybe where Harley's going to have a bit of an advantage come the second part of this race.
Yeah, he's a fit young man. But this is what we'll see. So it's 2.3 across the line, 10 seconds back to Drew Stock. That was nice. Just managed to recover that. This is the lap that's going to make the difference.
He's starting to look just a little bit like just lost the toe. I think, the adrenaline of making a good start after being up a bike for so long. All those that's 2 or 3 notable mistakes in the last 3/4 of a lap.
Yes, and that's going to harm him. He's lost the toe, and as a result of that, there is Stock. There's another battle that will be coming across the line with Finley J, Lucas Moncrief, Archie Moore. Here it is. So this is the battle then for 4th and 5th at the moment, and it is Finley J on the 3.57 from Lucas Moncrief with Arthur Moore there in the background, and Archie and Ollie Waters in 7th. Waters then 4th in the championship, Jeff. He'll be wanting to get his way to the front of this battle.
You just saw Phoenix fastest lap. Phoenix Tool's fastest lap time come up. That is now actually now belongs to Hayden Stat, but I think it was the lap prior to the one we just watched, because that was littered with quite a few mistakes. So,
he was a little bit at 6s and 7s there, but he's pushing on. He's ring rusty.
Yeah, his time was a 2:12.826. Remember that, and let's see how that compares with MX2 an MX1.
Yeah, Waters then putting the pressure on Arthur Moore and the rest of them as Joel Winstanley Dawson. He is on the back of Archie Stapley, by the look of it, another one of the Briggs riders. So Joel Winstanley Dawson, he's another guy that's shot up, and he's also lost a lot of timber this season. And I'll say he is the nephew of former GP rider Matt Winstanley. And Ken, who used to run the Wolf Sport British Masters back in the day, and Joel been big mistake there. Joel's been working his way through the classes, and his first year in 125s, and I think he's third in the championship, especially with the DNF, shows that how strong he has been across the 8 motos that we have had already, Jeff, and a nice pass there which will move him up to 8th place.
Yeah, he's a gritty young rider. Well held. Just as we were bigging him up, I thought, he's going to hit the dirt here, but he didn't. So that was a good save.
Right. Also, Jeff, while we went to look for something interesting, Hayden Statt's in the lead. Marjak went down, comes across the line, 7 seconds adrift, and he is only just in front of Drew Stock. So we played the let's have a look at something further down the field card, and our leader fell off. Our camera crew went back to the battles that we asked them to, and as always, Boyce was on the backside. So Hayden Statt now leads by 7 seconds from Harley Marjak. We stopped there in 3rd.
I'm going to bring something to this as well, and again, I didn't see this with my own eyes, so I can't say exactly what happened, but I did hear that there was a little bit of needle between Hayden Statt and Drew Stock in practice. I think Hayden ran it in pretty hard on one of his flying laps or something. I'm not sure how true that was, but that's what I was hearing. Didn't see it.
No,
but, yeah.
Well, you're more. You have your ear to the ground more than me on that kind of stuff, Jeff. But as we see Harley Marjak, I'd say we didn't see the crash.
Finley J.
Yeah, he's off.
Going off circuit.
So
he's going to fall out of...
Yeah.
God, it's all happening all of a sudden.
Yeah.
As we get towards the tail end of this race. So, yeah, Finley J, that was definitely him. Let's see. When he comes across the finish line, I would expect him to drop down. The question is, how far has he dropped down? Now, all of a sudden, of course, Drew Stock has his claws into his biggest championship rival.
Yeah, and obviously, while we were at the start of this race, with Marjak running away at the front and Stock sitting there in a comfortable 3rd, just taking the points, thank you very much. Not a lot to be gained by sticking his neck out. Now, his main championship protagonist, he's there right in the crosshairs, and he is going to try and close down the man on that S. Briggs Racing Yamaha. Lots of looks over the shoulder from Marjak. Like you say, he's a bit of a unit now for a kid of his age, isn't he?
He is. Just going back to this championship quest here, remember, Drew, I'd like to think, has got the tenacity and sense to realise that Hayden Statt is not a threat to him.
He's not a threat
He's just not going to pick back those points in the championship. So all he needs to do is keep beating the rider that's directly in front of him.
Gets his head down there to duck the roost. A different wide line there. So Marjak, he's dropped 8 seconds with that tum. It can only have been a tip-off, Jeff. He's not gone down hard, has he?
I can't see any dirt on him. So, he could have stalled it as well. We don't know, do we? But
that hand guard looks like it might be at a jaunty angle.
Oh, yeah, could be, yeah.
Hard to say at this distance. But, yeah, we went back to look at the battle. Arthur Moore now up to an excellent 4th place from Moncrief. Waters, Winstanley Dawson. Stapley dropped down to 8th after getting passed by Winstanley Dawson. Finley J in 9th, and a really good ride from the number 7 of Jensen 7. He is up there in 10th. Heron 11th, Panther 12th, Oakley Kettle 13th, Wood 14th, and Zane Dibley Deakin. That is your top 15. 2:46 plus 2 to go, Jeff.
Yeah, great stuff from Arthur Moore. Such a diminutive little rider. Power to weight ratio, and I'll tell you, those TMs as well, they rip. And it's great to see TM putting the effort in, Mike and the guys there. Even Woody is out today as well. Obviously, Mike's his son now runs it in the UK.
I saw him in the
Woody.
Yeah,
great to see Woody.
He was looking that good, I didn't recognise who he was.
Yeah.
So nice to see him, and obviously I'm a TM peddler of, I won't say some repute, but in the past that's been our weapon of choice for a few years. So good to see them out there.
This is good. He's really applying some pressure here Let's see. And I'm loving how Marzak's handling this pressure. Yes, he made a mistake in the lead, but what an education for him coming into the 125 class this year. Really excited about the British GP at Fox Hill and the fact we've got the EMX 125
yeah,
class.
that's going to be something to see. That's to me, that's almost a kind of as big a draw as the main classes. Getting
Totally.
to see these guys that we commentate on week in, week out at the home GP. Going to be really good, and it's good for them as well, because obviously I think it's been a while since we had EMX1. Did we get EMX 125 all the time at Matley? I meant there was a couple of times we didn't get it, and you felt like it really needed it.
And we got a different batch of riders this time as well.
Yes,
So
of
look,
course.
they're coming into lap traffic big time. Drew carrying, he got real close there last time around as well. But going back to the GP, get yourself there, get behind the British riders, Lucy Barker and all the girls as well, the women. We got a bunch of women, British women racing the women's as well. So come on.
And obviously MX2 will be stacked, because I don't think there's EMX 250, so there'll be a lot of guys in that. But anyway, this battle for second place is the de facto kind of battle for leading the championship at the moment, where Stock is not wanting to give up any points at all to Harley Marjak. And again, it's one of those things. Marjak's not beat him yet this year, and I would imagine that Drew Stock will want that to continue.
Yeah, and it comes down again to that little psychological thing. That's where you don't want to let your rival just get that little bit of impetus to think, right, beat him once, going to do it all the time now. We kind of see that, don't we, in a lot of World Championship motocross, AMA as well, that whole thing about how Deegan just refused to let anybody get, the mental battle.
It's all about the momentum, and it needs a swing for Marjak at this point in the year for him to close down that 35-point gap. This will bring it down to 33, and like you say, it doesn't take much. A DNF, a bad start, or a mechanical for whatever reason for either of these guys, and it will become the difference between it being all scare and being an absolute blowout. So
Drew with a nice line now. I can sense Drew's getting a little bit frustrated.
Oh, he's going to move down the inside. Oh, he's moved him out there.
Well, he did Marzak was a little bit. I wouldn't just keeping an eye on him through those switchbacks as well, and that's where I could feel Drew's frustration, because he was quicker through that section. He just couldn't find a way by. So there you go. The move's done. So just stamping his authority a little bit there. He's not going to win the race. He doesn't need to. Amazing story of Hayden Stack gets this done, by the way. Yeah,
and don't forget, obviously, you've got to go try and find the victory circle in a bit and have a chat with these guys. But yeah, that wasn't an out-of-the-way pass by Drew Stott there, but he made no mistake in letting Ali Marjak know that you're not cutting back underneath me, mate. I'm taking you to the out to the outside, and I'm getting me gap. But a good showing from the 581 on the S. Briggs Racing Yamaha. Arthur Moore in an excellent third. Lucas fourth. Lucas Moncrief fifth.
That's
on
a good
the
battle.
Madison 3-flow Yamaha. And
four, 5 and 6. Look at the times between. I mean, we're going to stick with the leaders and bring Stat in, because he probably deserves it, no doubt about it. The amount of time he's been off the bike. But keep an eye on 4th, 5th and 6th there. That could change, because look, there is only 2 seconds between 4th and 6th, with Moncrief sandwiched in the middle of it.
So 6 seconds then, the gap from this man at the front, Hayden Stack, on the Chambers Racing KTM. And he was having a long look over his shoulder, Jeff, just to I think he was trying to suss out maybe who the chasing rider was, and that's dried out quite a lot on the backside of that jump.
I'm not sure if you get to pick up at home. Again, we're quite close to the finish line. We have the door open in our studio because we have to, otherwise we melt. And I hope you can pick up those 125s through our microphone. It's still such a sweet sound when they come past you.
I was on there watching from the start straight, Jeff, this morning, and hearing them all full noise around the final, coming out of the final turn and down the start straight. It's a proper open circuit here, very much like you would expect an American track to be. Nothing like Ling or Blacksaw, where it's all a little bit twisty. These bikes are singing for 90% of the lap, whatever they're doing, and it is great to see. And like I say, lots of people around the outside of the circuit here. Below that, obviously, it's a massive thing. A bit like Matley, even when it's full, it looks empty. But we've got a lot of people coming in early doors this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can see 1 lap to go. You can just see the board to the right of the screen. This has got to feel good for Hayden Stack. Being off the bike for so long, and of course he just wants to come back into this championship. Obviously realises he can't win it from here on in. just wants to dominate the rest of the series to show, look, I could have, should have, all that stuff.
And that's always, you know, well, I didn't have to beat him. There's always two stuff. If Hayden goes out and wins all the races now from now to season end, he's going to go into 2027. God, talking about that a year with that number into 2027 with a head of steam, which he didn't have coming into this season. I think he was injured. He got injured as well over the winter a little bit, didn't he? So, and obviously Drew Stott. He had a really, really good year last year that got him onto the JK ride that he's on now. A big mistake there.
That must be a nasty corner, because he did that
a lot of
3
people
laps ago.
Pedalled around. I think they need to be looking for alternative lines now. I think the 250 guys and the 450 guys are going to come out and find a different track for their first race. They'll be cutting through. That's again, the bits of the track that everybody avoided because they were wet this morning will have dried out immensely.
Yeah, it's in good nick now, traction-wise. I mean, I know they were struggling on that, but if when you put water down initially, it's obviously going to be that little bit greasy, and there's a few little greasy patches out there, but for the best part, the track is just in probably the best condition it can be regards of traction right now, and they just got to stay on top of it. But like we said, unlimited water supply. We're in Wales, it rains all the time. Don't tell me you can't find water somewhere up here.
Well, the thing is, it is down the bottom of the hill, and they have to spend a lot of time and money pumping it up. So Hayden Stott then on the Chambers KTM. A proper bounce back return then for the man from the northeast after missing the last few rounds through injury. Or proper bounce through there. There's a big divot of a hole. And you could see that that's properly bottomed out, that rear suspension. And checkered flag then for Hayden Stott. He will take victory in Moto 1 of our RFX 125 Championship by just under 5 seconds from Drew Stott with Harley Marjak, our early race leader, and you would have said possible race victor had he not have tipped off. He will be there in third. Arthur Moore comes across the line. He holds on to fourth. I will wait for that K-Tech Tower to update. Looks like Moore, Moncrief and Winstanley Dawson. Perhaps I'll go over to the other timing screen. So yeah, Moore across the line, Moncrief and Winstanley Dawson. Then it will be Stapley, Ollie Waters, Finley J after that tip-off, and Jensen 7 there in 10th place. So first race action then brought to a close. We're going to take a word from our partners, and then we'll be back with Jeff, who will have Hayden Stott, Drew Stott and Harley Marjak in the winner's circle.
This is Dirt Store. We're your one-stop shop for everything off-road. Find all of the latest products from the top off-road brands. Whether it's gear, parts, protection or accessories, Dirt Store has everything you need to hit the track. Shop fast, ride fast.
A circle, wow. Time off the bike to come back. I mean, I know you were focused. I mean, you were sat up on the sofa, all those kind of things, and it kind of came out in that ride. Well done. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels really good. My first ever 125 British win, I think.
It is?
Yeah, it feels good to finally get it. It's a long time overdue, so it's good to finally get a win in the bag. Feels like a big weight lifted off my shoulders and to go out and get another one.
How difficult was that? Because we saw you were pushing on, obviously really putting some pressure on Harley there, and then there was 1 or 2 laps where you just started to, I guess, back at lack of ride time, you started to make a few little mistakes, probably breathing a little bit heavy. Was that the case?
Yeah, definitely. It was a long 4 weeks off the bike. It felt like forever. And I got under the back of Harley, and I knew with him being young, he might just fold under pressure a bit. But I got onto the back of him, went to make the pass, but unfortunately I went over the top of the berm. I gave him like a good couple of seconds there, and then it was just chill out, wait for the ride to come to me, and that's what happened.
Well, I got to say, super impressive. Obviously, you got the team stuck behind you. What now? I guess you just want to, that's it now, dominate the rest of the series. Obviously, you got EMXs to look forward to as well.
Yeah, definitely just finish off the year on a good note, because there's not much I can do now. I've just got to suck it up and get on with it and really show my potential in these last few rounds. Yeah, it might not be the championship, but at least I can go out there and show that I'm the fastest man on the track.
It's great to have you back. Well done, mate. And congratulations on your very first 125 win. We're going to move Hayden out of it. We're going to bring Drew in, making him push his bike off. Drew's going to come in. So Drew, again, you know, big picture. I know you want to win all these races, and you've only lost one to this point now, obviously, but you're still, I guess, you can not worry about Hayden. He's not in the championship. The main thing's the championship for you.
Yeah, I'm not really too fussed about it. It's still a decent result. If that was one of my bad results, not really that bad. I think I struggled a little bit early on. I watered it, and I just took my time, really. I didn't feel comfortable. And then I come on towards the end, and I was catching Hayden, but yeah, race 2 should be better if they don't water it, and I'll be able to go from the start. But yeah, thanks to all my sponsors who helped me out.
Good stuff. Well, you go and get yourself ready. Like I said, championship's the main thing for him. And of course, let's bring in Harley. Harley, you want to come over? Yeah, again, because that's what he's got to keep beating. I mean, this is his nearest title rival. I can't believe it. You walked past me in the paddock earlier on. You seem to have grown about another foot since I saw you at Landrake. It's ridiculous. But, mate, that was solid. I mean, that must be nice to lead laps there as you're building it, first-year rider in this class. That must have felt good. And I know you really want to keep chasing Drew, and that was a great way to put pressure on him. Yeah,
it was all right. And then whole shot leaded for like 4 laps, I think. Yeah. And then the back end just like kicked out in the rut.
We didn't see that, but I got to say, like both you and your teammate ripping out the start, that obviously felt good. What are you looking forward to now, in like regard to the rest of the series? I know you're going to keep applying pressure, but is it really still a case for you as a first-year 125 rider that it's just every day is a genuine school day?
Yeah. No, I'm homeschooled.
No, I meant at the track, as in like you're learning every time.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Well, look, keep up the good work. Obviously, Team Boss is there with his wonderful hat on. And you're rocking here. Just want to zoom in on that if you can. The Briggs team making these lovely little stickers here in memory of Keythorpe. So good stuff with that. Good luck in the second one, mate. Keep it going. Well done. So there you go. That's the top 3 in the 125. They're going to be back shortly. Right now, let's move back to the MX2 class. Ben Rumble is going to get everybody fired up here at the venue, and we're going to go back racing. So don't go too far away. We'll see you in a bit. Thanks, Jack.
I'm still a kid, but I'm tougher than you think.
Let me fail, let me fall, and learn to get back up.
Let me find my own ride, let me go full throttle. Never tell me what I can't do, and let me win. Never hold me back.
Let me try.
Let me try. Never underestimate me. It's the ride of my life.
This is madness. It rages within us. From the world it seeks to consume. We dream, sweat, achieve.
Welcome back, everybody, to Monster Mountain. It is round 5 of the Motul ACU British Motocross Championship. I'm Phil G, and alongside me, as always, Jeff Perrott, bringing you all of the action. At MX2, guys, like I say, on their site lap, you see the track drying out, a treat for us now. It's been heavily ripped and watered this morning after being what can only be described as a bit of a swamp for the rest of the preceding week. And the guys coming back to the holding area to get ready for the first of their 2 motos today. And qualifying took place this morning, Jeff, and pretty decent as it was. And I wouldn't say a surprise man on pole after coming out the gate and winning round first race of the season at Hawkston. Fastest man was the 1.8 for Goswell Honda of Jamie Keith.
Yeah, he looked really good. It's a bit of Jamie's going as well. Again, obviously a really talented young rider, but I still see him as this slight light on the bike type rider, and the power to weight ratio around a track like this, where traction, and he just looked really good. And of course he can roll the dice. So let's see what he can do. But he's there in the mix for sure. And Freddie Bartlett as well. It's great to have Freddie back racing in the UK. So he came in second, and then Joel Rizzi. So not the top 3 I would imagine in qualifying. I can say that.
Yeah, so we're going to have a quick word from our partners, and then we'll be back. We'll run through qualifying, and it will be then gate drop for the first of our MX2 races here at Monster Mountain.
Welcome to Club Dirt Store, the new way to shop off-road. Stack up points with every order. Then send your points for discount. Join the club for free today.
So here we go then, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's going to be hopefully another great race. That first RFX 125 was pretty decent. There are your top 40 qualifiers. We spoke about Jamie Keith just before we went to our break. Freddie Bartlett up there in second. Now, he's still a young rider. He's been on a 450. He's been on Kawasaki, and he's been also, he's found a home at the Absolute KTM team for this season, and he's nailed it with second place in qualifying. And third, Joel Rizzi.
Yeah, great.
Great for Joel. I've always been a Joel Rizzi fan, and I just feel he just needs a few good rides under his belt to be able to get a podium result. Ben Mustoe then, good fourth of him. Heyman, Dunson, Richmond, Askew and Searle were your top 10. And then Coleman, McCormack, Coleman, Liam Garland, Max Harris, George Hopkins, Harrison Greenoff in the top 20, Liam Bennett, Joel Fisher and Jake Rackham. Just a word from Landrake. We had... his name's gone completely out of my head. Liam Garland's team. Liam Knight, who crashed at Landrake. Speaking to the team, wasn't a great situation at the time, but Liam Knight is well on the mend and hoping to be back for the final round if things go the right way. So if Liam, you're watching back at home, we wish you a very, very speedy recovery and all of your Garland Motorsports crew a decent rest of the championship before your return. So good for that. We're hearing that good things for Liam Knight.
Yeah, that was a nasty one. We won't go into too many details. You don't want to know, but either way, it was quite nasty. So yeah, all the best, Liam. Hope to see you back. A real stalwart. Really, he's been doing it a long time.
Look, the whole of that Garland Motorsports team are just, that is them. They've just been here doing it, and Liam, they're getting, they've been doing this 15 years or more at this level, and great to see that they're still here and running it against the younger guys, which is not easy. There is the AC United Gas of round 4 winner, Ben Mustoe. He's my dark horse. He was really good at Landrake last year, and I was so pleased to see that he could pull that out of the bag, and it was a good win that he didn't look into. But whether he's got what it takes, he was just over a second off pole. I don't really worry too much about times, but it does make a difference. There is the red plate holder of Charlie Heyman.
Right. It does, but this is such a fair, open start. Qualifying doesn't matter so much. It's a wide track. Tommy Searle, we all know the Tommy story. That, he's kind of now genuinely making noises that this could be it. This could be the last year. That's the kind of rhetoric we're getting from him now. This is right up his street. This kind of going so similar to his practice track. Obviously, where he is, isn't it? Honestly, the stony surface and whatever. Don't be surprised for him to pull the cat out of the bag. He's done it already once this year. Could do it again. But yeah, like you said, it's going to be good. Heyman, he's been in this position in youth motocross. This is the first time he's led British this convincingly. And, where are you at with 3 rounds to go, 4 rounds to go? Oh, I don't know. Where's your mindset? Do you keep pushing on for those wins? Is he in championship mode? I don't know.
I think it's too soon to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's got to be thinking about it for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But a 37-point lead in the main championship then from Ben Mustoe on the AC United Gas, who is the man that has the momentum. And then it's Searle and Dunson and then Billy Askew. And then there's a big gap. It's really only Ben Mustoe and Tommy Searle that are going to challenge him for the championship at this point. Everybody else seems to have had a mare or more than one mare in the 8 gate drops that we've had since the championship started way back at Hawkston Park. So Heyman's consistency, but he has won rounds, let's not forget. He had a clean sweep at Ling, so he is there on speed as well as consistency. As we look at the poleman on the Goswell Honda, Jamie Keith, the man from up there in the south of the Lake District.
Yeah, just pressing his mapping button. Here we go.
Oh, good break from about 6 gates in, Jeff. Who's that going to be?
It's coming from the mid. Yeah, it's not. It's Heyman.
It's not.
Well, at the inside, though.
That's Liam Garland on the Garland
Motorsports
KTM. Dad Dave will be jumping up and down. The 24 leads them round turn 2 with Heyman there in second.
George Hopkins back there in 5th, I think. Rider number 4, he just got... Oh, this will be big for
Richmond
Liam.
there in third place on the Crendon True 7 Honda, but it is the 24 of Liam Garland on the Garland Motorsports KTM.
Wow.
Who leads them away.
Liam leads it all out on track. One of his regional tracks, it was still there, was Cuss's Gorse, and he always used to rip round there. Similar kind of thing.
Similar going, mate. Similar
Hard
going.
pack, lots of jumps. He's going to feel this adrenaline. There's no question about it. But Heyman, again, another great start. I mean, his starts have been something else this year, and I think that's a big part of the reason why he's doing so well in the championship. Yes, he's made those starts count. Of course he has. But he has always come round that first corner pretty much in the top 3 at most rounds.
Rest of the field streaming through then. But there's your race leader, the 24 of Liam Knight, with Heyman there. the championship red plate holder on the SC Sport Homes Husqvarna. He is there in second. It's Jamie Keith that is all over the back of Richmond there in the battle for third.
Two younger of the youngsters. I mean, I still class Heyman as young, but those two behind are even younger. I should imagine if I was in Heyman's position here, I'd think he'd follow him around on this first lap, see all that, you know, where the wet spots are, all that kind of stuff. Get that first lap under his belt, and I think he'll want to make a move on lap 2.
Yeah, Jamie Keith just rode around the outside of
Make that now.
Yeah, he just rode around the outside of Charlie Richmond there. So the championship leader to the front. Liam Knight not getting the honour of leading past the flag for the first time, but I'm making no excuses for calling him an MX2 veteran. Great to see him get out the gate. He can still ride, no mistake.
Yeah, definitely. Nice to see the different timing combos over the Dragons back there.
Yeah,
you can see that Heyman went a bit like kind of longer and jumped over the middle bit.
McCormack there in a good 5th place as well on the Chambers KTM. So he's doing Musto there in 6th. Then it's Dukeson, Askew, Searle in 9th, Rizzi in 10th. Bartlett then down to 12th. Then Bennett, Coleman, Fisher and Max Harris on the 472. Vale there in 17th. He did not have a great start. But your championship leader then already starting to get out the front. And it looks like maybe the two Hondas there have made a move on Liam Knight as well. Let's have a look as they come in. No, Knight's still there. It's difficult to... the red and the orange look similar on our screen here in the booth, but a nice move down the outside from Jamie Keith. That was the corner that we suggested was a tricky one in the RFX 125 race.
We saw Heyman going through, Stat going through there with legs akimbo most laps.
Yeah.
He just went through feet on the pegs like they want to leave it. So maybe that's just a line choice.
I think he came further to the inside.
It looked like
and Garland was in the line that they were using in the RFX 125 Championship. So Jamie Keith, our fastest qualifier on the Goswell Honda, moves to 3rd. Is he going to have anything for our race leader? He's going to need to...
well, he needs to go now.
Yeah.
If that is the case, I would imagine.
So he moves to 2nd, not 3rd. It's 3rd on the screen. He just made the pass to 2nd. So has he got anything for our race leader, Charlie Heyman, Jeff?
Yeah, I think if he has, as I said, he's got to go all in now. He can't let Charlie Heyman get into any kind of rhythm here if he wants to win this thing. No doubt about that. Richmond looking solid. This is one of his better starts. He's had some good ones, but this will be good if he can crack the top 3, and he's all over Garland. Be interesting to see what Liam can do here, regards of just staying in the game. You know, he's obviously got the speed. We know that. But it's always a different thing when you haven't run up the front for a while, and that's no disrespect because a couple of years ago he was quitting the sport. He's out of the game.
Yeah, he was done, wasn't he?
You know, so it'd be great if he could. It just gets nudged out of the way by Richmond there, though.
That was a nice pass. Richmond had got himself on the slight inside rut, and a bit of hesitation then from Garland, and he drops to 4th. If he could hold on to a top 10 finish here, though, Jeff, that's got to be. I mean, he's like say he was injured earlier part of the year, and he missed a lot of last year as well. But a great showing then for the Garland Power Sports team.
Okay, just to let you know, Phoenix Tools, fastest lap of the race, was indeed your race leader by some margin that last lap around. He was 2 seconds quicker than the riders all around him, hence why that gap's gone out to nearly 4 seconds. He did a 2:09.943. Charlie Heyman, 4:22, is your Phoenix Tools fastest lap of the race thus far.
So there is the Dirt Store triumph of Tommy Searle, the number 100. He is all over the back of the Chambers KTM of McCormack.
That's Askew, isn't it?
It is, you're right. It did look like... So,
441.
So Tommy's the next one back, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I thought he'd made a couple of passes, and those numbers did look a bit... it looks like a bit like 100 on the back of the shirt. You're right, Jeff.
This guy is riding so good. I mean, look at that there. That was just a tidy... That was, for me, that was an efficient scrub. That's not...
Yes.
That was everything done right. So he's doing it to gain speed, but not over-exaggerating.
He's not doing it for the gram, is he?
No,
he's just keeping his energy levels
flowing. Yeah, and his throttle control is really good. Look at him just... I mean, I think he's improved so much, even more. He was prolific in youth motocross, but I think his riding posture, where he sits on the bike, he's grown, he's got a bit taller. Look at technique through there, the way that leg was like way up above the ruts, just looking
Well, that's
great.
nice. That was nice through there as well, wasn't it?
He's not that classic. You've heard coaches say it, we all say it. He's not overriding the bike.
No, he's definitely not. We'll be interested to see what the gap is this time by, Jeff. Has Jamie Keith got anything for him? It was 3.5 seconds last time. We'll see what it is this time by. Fastest lap of the race then for Jamie Keith by the looks of it.
Yes.
So that gap can't not have come down by that
3/10.
Yeah. So the
go.
gap comes down from 3.5 to 3.2. And it's and he will see this. That's the thing. It's a visual thing. You'll know you're catching it. No matter what the board says, you will see. It's that kind of track. Musto now all over the back of Liam Garland. He's managed to move onto the back wheel of the number 24. And then it's McCormack, Askew, Dunson, Searle and Coleman. That's a good battle there in the middle of the pack. Well, they're all coming together there, Jeff.
Yeah. We mentioned earlier on that maybe Charlie Heyman later on in the year will go and do some AMA races. Well, as always, it's always great to have a British interest. Let's be honest, because we all watch the AMA pretty much. It'd be good to see what he can do when he goes out there, because he's riding better than he's ever ridden. Right, let's see what Musto can do here. No messing about, straight up there. He's
yeah, Liam made a bit of a mistake on the way into that turn, and I think he missed his rut.
Yeah,
and just ended up riding right in the marbles on the edge of the track.
Thought Musto was going to tuck the front end there. Easy to do. I got across the track field to get to the winner's circle.
Yes.
There's some ruts out there. I'd say even on that finish corner.
They're all on the landing as well, aren't they, Jeff? It's getting chopped up. Tyre choice for this circuit, where it's dry in hard pack, especially on this bit here, and then you've got loam elsewhere, but you want to scoot to get off the line. I wouldn't want to be making it. Look at there we are. There's Searle on the back of Ollie. In fact, Ollie Coleman's passed Tommy Searle. So the man on the Chambers KTM has moved up a position on that lap. Here's Askew giving Liam Knight all he can handle and a little bit more. This is where we saw him lose a place and actually lose the race lead. And
he's still fighting though. Well done, Liam. Well, he is a fighter. He's always been a fighter. I mean, you can never ever say that Liam Garland has not given it his all. I watched him ride from a really young kid, and he rolls the dice. He leaves it all out on track.
Jamie Keith then 2.8, so another 0.7 for our second place man. He is closing in. But Askew making the pass on Liam Garland. There is Dunson on the fine 7-4. The Gabriel SS24 KTM Factory Juniors rider. He had a good showing in EMX in Latvia, so he'll be happy with that, but not found his feet in the British Championship. Although he's fourth in points, Jeff, 47 points adrift. It's not what we would expect from a rider of his calibre.
No.
He makes easy work of Knight, though, over that step up.
Just for watching Askew come out of that corner before the big step up, the front end was breaking away all the way through that, and then just at the last minute managed to just get a bit of grip and pop it back upright. So our traction is starting to become a bit of a premium out there at the minute.
Yeah, a few wider lines. Tommy Searle there looking for a way back past the 456 Chambers KTM off Coleman. They're all queuing up. Oh, that was that could have been nasty for Tommy. Coleman did nothing wrong there. He just took the line he was he'd set himself up to do, and Tommy was on the inside of him. A look over the shoulder.
If that was the same situation a couple of years ago, I think you'd have seen Tommy run that in there.
Yeah, he's just celebrated a birthday this weekend, from what I heard. I don't know whether that's true or not. But there is the 184 of Jamie Keith. He was 2.8 across the line last time. We'll see if he's going to close in on Charlie Heyman. And again, Keith, not a championship contender. And as far as the championship's concerned, Musto being there in fourth and Tommy Searle being back in 10th. This is going to be another stretching out of the gap for Charlie Heyman at the front. He's going to add another 3 or 4 points to his championship lead in this first moto here at Monster Mountain, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly that. Like I said, Jamie, championship-wise, just like we saw in the opening 125 moto, not really a threat. He'd have to just win every moto from here on in to even become a threat. And even there, he's just too far back. I mean, he's not even shown in the top 10. in the actual championship. Yes, he's currently 9th in the under-21 championship, Jude Morris under-21 championship. But again, Heyman is probably reading his pit board, assessing the situation and going, this is all going pretty good. Because he's in front of his main rivals, which currently are Musto and Searle in the championship, as you've just highlighted. So all going good for the SC Sports Home Husqvarna rider right now.
The gap there, Jeff, has gone out by 1.2. It's back up to 3 3/4 seconds. So whether Keith has made a mistake and just lost a little more time, or Heyman has turned up the wick a little bit on that last lap, but the gap now visibly going out, and is Jamie Keith just going to go, well, if I beat him in the next one, I've still got the overall. I hate the phrase a second is as good as a win, because it clearly isn't, but it also is.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. Because they know there's nothing quite like winning a race.
Look at this.
This is on now.
Oh, what a battle! So
Liam would be feeling it now. They're coming at him. All these young guns, with the exception of Searle, are all creeping up on him.
But look, it's fine margins, Jeff. It's fine. Look, Liam's made a good start, and he's there. He's not in the way. It's just these guys are closed in at a tenth at a time. But he's still there in a decent position.
Anybody watching this that follows the sport, you know this, but I'm going to say it again because it needs constant reminding. This sport is one of the toughest you can ever do, and where does age and and experience meet a young exuberant body? At some point there's a crossover. You can have all the experience, but
for me about 30 years ago. But again, Tommy Searle he's a world-class rider. If he hadn't have come up against the generational talent of Jefrey Herlings in for God knows how many seasons on the bounce in MX2, he could have been a world champion without a doubt, more than once. But he's out there in this field. He's currently running 7th. He's still a top performer.
Yeah.
We've got a yellow flag in this turn. Somebody gone down here on the way out.
Oh, Musto. Is that Musto?
Looks like Musto's
bike. Is he crashed and then the bike's gone?
No, I think he's got a knee injury there, Jeff.
Do you?
He looks like he was holding his left knee. So Ben Musto goes out of third position. He'd actually passed Charlie Richmond. So whether there's been contact there, I have no idea. We genuinely do not know. But that was Ben Musto looking very second-hand.
It looked like him. I'm pretty certain it was.
Yeah, it was Musto, and he was riding into the entrance pit lane, which is on the inside of turn 1. Oh, that is a shame.
Okay, here's some news for you. Phoenix Tools, fastest lap of the race. This one's caught me off guard. Gian Doonson in 5th place has just done the quickest lap of the race, 2:09.461. So there you go.
I'm not sure that Doonson's ever even been here before.
No.
He wasn't in the championship the last time it was around, and whether they will have come back as Vale puts a pass on Liam Knight, whether they will have been here for any of the midweek championship races, or even the one that was here last weekend. That for those of you that have looked at it and gone, well, they can't race here last week. They raced on the other track here last week, and I know that Conrad Muse and a few others were here. So Doonson closing in 5th position. Well, he's not. He's going to be 4th now, because we think we lost Musto at the beginning of that lap with 10 minutes and a lap left to go.
Yeah, we believe that. We think that. We haven't got complete confirmation because we broke away from him, but it definitely did look like the 163 and the Troy Lee gear there of Ben Musto. Obviously, we're going to know pretty soon because Heyman is getting close to clocking off another lap with 9:46 plus 2 to go.
There's Freddie Bartlett. He is in 11th, so the ultimate KTM rider, absolute KTM rider there, qualified 2nd.
Look at the gap at the sharp end coming down as well.
2 seconds.
Ooh. Yeah, it was. There you go. Musto dropping down the leaderboard. So we have got that correct. He is. You'll see him just fall down that KTEC timing tower now, unfortunately. Still showing as 5th though. Did he not pull in then? Maybe he didn't pull into the pit.
Askew's not come across the line yet.
Oh, okay.
So I think as soon as Askew comes across the
but
line,
all their times are showing. That's a bit weird because they're all over the line. There's Bartlett there, so I think he stayed out there.
So maybe he was just smarting a bit, and he's got him, and it was a problem. Maybe he got the footrest was caught back or gear lever or something. Oh well, obviously he is. He's showing us 5th, Jeff. So
yeah, he's still out there.
The times don't add up, but we'll wait and see. So there is Jamie Keith. He is closing in on the 422 red plate holder. of Charlie Heyman. It was almost out to 4 seconds, and it's now just over 2. Is this one going to have a sting in the tail for Charlie Heyman? Like I say, he got the gentleman set at the last round, at Ling, and wasn't fastest qualifier here this morning, but again, not fazed by any of that. He just wants to go out and score points.
No, you're right. It's a timing glitch, because now he's disappeared completely off the list.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're not sure exactly what happened there. We will try and get the lowdown on that before we get into the second block of racing. You might even see it on social media, but we're not sure what's actually happened to Ben Musto there. Oh, that's a real shame. He's becoming a contender, obviously, coming off the back of Landrake as well.
Second in the points. So, again, all of a sudden, it's a 15-point gift for Charlie Heyman.
Yeah.
Where's Tommy Searle? Tommy Searle is in 6th. He's going to score 15 points. And he is 43 adrift. It's going to be over 2 races at the head of the field now.
Yeah. And be interesting again to see what happens in these next, I would say, 2 laps. If Keith gets the gap down a bit more, let's see what Charlie does here. Interesting to see his pit board, because, again, championship implications, he doesn't need really to
Is that
race
Musto touring? Yes, it is.
So he's still out
he's
there.
Still out there.
Trying to salvage something, which to me, Phil, you're absolutely right, suggests that is a tweaked knee. I mean, it could be a bike issue. We don't know. But clearly, he's not where he wants to be and something's happened. But the way he was looking down to the side, and it would be very easy to twist a knee out there right now in these current conditions.
It would indeed. Doonson then now showing as 4th, with Searle up to 5th. He has passed teammate Billy Askew and Ollie Coleman, so the veteran on the Dirt Store Triumph. Our broadcast partners, they are there in 5th and 6th. Coleman 7th, with his Chambers KTM teammate Glenn McCormack now back to 8th. Bartlett 9th and Josh Vale in 10th. And it's Rizzy, Garland, Liam Bennett, Max Harris and Joel Fisher. They're in 15th place. 6:25 left on the clock, Jeff. This is going to be 2.5 seconds.
He doesn't seem flustered, but then that has been basically the story of his entire career. I've never seen him really look like he's overly panicking on the track at any one point. From our standpoint, everything looks good. I mean, he even looks good regards of like all the kit and the colourways and everything. Easy to spot. He's just looking the part. He's looking like a championship leader. You know,
it's not 2.5 seconds now, though, Jeff.
No,
because there's Keith. He's there, and again, I don't think Richmond's that bothered. I just think he's doing his laps. If Keith gets there, he'll deal with him when he does. If he don't get there, he don't get there. But
no.
Richmond is just clicking him off, and he's making Jamie Keith work for it. And like I say, he's no championship threat. He's not even in the top 10 in the main championship. He's 100 and odd points adrift in the under 21. So from a season-long point of view, it does not matter, other than for the personal pride. You never want to give up a race win.
No, you don't.
But
you definitely
saying
do not.
that,
Okay, well, I'm not sure if you can still hear us, but we've had technical issues here. Our screens are frozen, so I'm not sure if we're still going out live. We can't really give you any more commentary because here we go. We're back. Little technical glitch. There we go. Yeah.
Whoever's peddling the thing out there to get the internet to work, obviously stopped for a breath. It isn't actually. The shorts was a good call, but it's just a nice temperature for riding motocross today.
Perfect.
We've got cloud cover that's keeping the place fairly cool. Obviously, water gets put down between races, but it's a nice day for racing here at Monster Mountain for round 5 of the Motul ACU British Championship. There's the battle then. That's McCormack and Vale on the Phoenix Tools Vantic.
Again, I mean, the starts are obviously an integral part of motocross. Is Vale going to get slingshot round the outside? I think he's got the move. McCormack's going to control the inside. Yeah, look, he give him a little look even.
Running to the outside.
Yeah. What I was going to say there is about, qualifying, and you can read and do it what you want, but it just goes to show, Freddie Bartlett and Joel Rizzi, 2nd and 3rd in qualifying, and, just propping up the top 10 there. So, you've got to back it up with a good start.
Yeah,
you might as well have speed, but
Indeed, Bartlett just out of the back of shot there, Jeff. So he's coming along.
Good little battle going on here. Okay, the gap at the front is coming down. It's marginal. It really is marginal stuff. Just taking a few more tenths out of him. Last time around, he actually took 8 tenths out of him last time around, Jamie Keefe. So that was quite a chunk, actually. Close to a second to get it down to 1.7. We just confident in Heyman's ability to not be flustered, not panicked, particularly with that nice cushion in a championship. That makes a big difference when you're in that kind of position where you can go, okay, worst case scenario, if I'm feeling the heat, I start to get sketchy, come on by.
It's a second now, Jeff. It's closing in. Heyman is just motoring and doing his laps, and Jamie Keefe on that Goswell Honda is pushing on nicely, and the gap is as close as it has been for at least the last 10 laps of the race, I think. I think Keith has been as close as this, apart from off the start. Richmond in a good third. 3 seconds clear of Dunson on the Gabriel SS24 KTM. And it's Searle, Askew, Coleman, McCormack, Vale, Bartlett and Rizzi.
Yeah,
on the 31 of Charlie West.
Solid ride. Richmond going to be pleased with this one, I think.
It does look like Charlie Heyman has just got the measure of Jamie Keefe. He doesn't look stressed, and Jamie is obviously throwing everything that he can at it. But obviously, he's a man. He DNF'd at Ling, had a big off at Ling, and we thought that he was going to be out for at least 1 or 2 rounds, but turned out that he was just knocked about, nothing actually broken. Oh, as our drone shot, you can actually see the gap.
Just a shout out to Tommy Searle. Look at that, sort of as Tommy does, methodically, just edging his way up, gone past, his teammate Coleman. There he is. He just gets the job done. I mean, that's as far as he's going to get, I would imagine, if you look at the gap between him and Dunson.
Yeah.
Unless something happens to the riders in front of him, but again, just wily old dog that he is. Keith giving everything here, and quite rightly so. He's got nothing to lose. He's not got a championship to worry about as such. With the remaining rounds to go, if you're outside of the top 10, you can throw the kitchen sink at it and not worry about dropping points and taking those those extra little bit of zest and maybe risk a few things a bit more.
Jamie Keefe he'll want to win this, and like I say, he's not won since round 1, where he took an emphatic victory. His podium's interview with you, Jeff, still one of my highlights of the year. And he's not managed to back that up. Had a few offs, a couple of bad starts, and then obviously a bit of injury as well. So, but he's shown that he's got the speed.
It was definitely a statement. A few noticingly Tommy Searle, who came back out and said at round 2 and saying, what was that Jamie said? About move over old guys. Something on those lines, wasn't it? But
But let's not forget that both Jamie Keefe and Charlie Richmond came up from our RFX 125 class for this season. So they have come through the 125 development route, and they're straight into the sharp end of MX2. So it shows the level where those guys are in the big scheme of things. As Heyman passes Cameron Duro on...
Interesting. Keep an eye as well.
Duro, sorry.
Keep an eye, if you can, as well on Richmond and Dunson, because Dunson took another, just around a second out of Richmond that last time around, and I think we're going to get 2 to go. The time's elapsed.
Yes, 2 to go.
Not much in it. You can see there 2 seconds. So let's see if Charlie Richmond there on the Crendon True 7 Honda racing machine can keep hold of that 3rd place, because Dunson is starting to peg him back. I think Charlie at the front here has just managed to just sort of stem the flow a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think that Jamie Keefe didn't get the rub of the green with the back markers through that section, and I think that's going to be him done. Got somebody there with the streamers. And here is our race leader coming onto the start-finish straight then. 2 to go. And this time, the gap is visibly bigger, Jeff.
Yeah, it's gone out. Let's see. He's gone back to almost doubling it, and some.
So see how Richmond and Doonson come across the line. That is tight. That is under a second, Jeff.
Yeah, he took 3 seconds back out of Jamie that last lap. 2:09. So he took it back into a 2:09. That's pretty impressive. Bearing in mind the quickest lap of the race is a 2:09.461.
Fastest lap in qualifying was a high 2:08, Jeff. So that is the track is faster without a doubt. But even so, that's Heyman stamping his authority. A look over the shoulder. Keith will have given this best, possibly at the midway round that last lap after getting the back marker issue, and he will be riding it in for second and be happy to do that. Richmond then, I won't say hanging on for third, because that doesn't do justice to the quality of ride from the young Crendon True 7 Honda rider. I'll say part of the Spencer Briggs development group, reading that they're going to be taking another rider into that team, 420, an additional rider, not
replacing somebody.
They're going to be adding to the roster of whoever that is for 2027 next year. So good to see that they're still backing the young rider who came through the ranks with them in the past couple of seasons. And Richmond I think he's having a good first season. He hasn't gone big and not fretted about getting ready for EMX. They've just let him find his feet and find his speed, and I'm sure that confidence will come. He's still a very young man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we got a batch of good riders coming through. I'd say arguably a bit more than we've done in quite a while, and there's a few more coming back through on the from the British Youth Championship as well, which of course we don't do the live stream of, but we got some good little 85 riders and 65 riders starting to get some results in Europe. EMX level in the 65s and 85s as well. So I'm looking forward to the Junior Worlds as well. Obviously, that's going to be good to see what our young British riders can do there.
That was good last year. I'm trying to think. Was it Heyman that had a?
Yeah, he nearly lay in the mud. Yeah,
he did. He took an absolute stormer of a start from the outside and rode round the drive bit, didn't he?
Yeah, led a lot of laps.
And led a lot of laps, and I think he tipped off in the second one or something out. But that was kind of a break. Not say it was a breakthrough, but at that level, it was like he announced that, "Hey, I'm here." And since then, to be fair, he has been. Let's not forget, he was in with the shout of the championship going into the last gate drop. 9 points adrift to Tommy Searle, who we all know missed around through that injury picked up in the arena cross. But even so, he was the best of the rest.
And what I would say, on paper, when you compare lap charts, when you're in the youth classes to the MX2, you think, I'm there or thereabouts. The reality, the step from the 125 class for the MX2, you can look at lap charts and data all you want. It's much harder than people appreciate.
It is indeed.
You are suddenly stepping up with the men, with years of experience. You're suddenly racing with the likes of Tommy Searle, for example, with all that experience under his belt. It's a very different thing.
Here's Richmond and Doonson then, Jeff, and the man on the Honda still hanging on to a very, very deserved third place for the man on the Gabriel SS24 Factory Juniors KTM, giving everything he's got. These guys are at 15, 16 seconds adrift of our race leader. But
Charlie would love to hold on to this, but he really is coming under the cosh now. Doonson, as we said, he is the quickest lap of the race holder, if you want to call it that, for Mixed Tools. That was a couple of laps ago. On lap 6 he did that. So, but that has made him pull up to the back end of Charlie. Now, Charlie's just got easier said than done. He has got to dig deep for one more lap. Just got hung up a little bit there on the inside of that corner. I think it's foot peg. But he's certainly making him work for it. He's riding all the tight lines through there. So if Doonson's going to go by, he's got to go right round the outside, trailer park style.
Checkered flag.
Checkered flag. We saw it was one to go, but it's not.
No, you thought it was one to go. I knew it wasn't. You get over there, Jeff, and go and see Charlie Heyman. We were following that last lap battle between Richmond and Doonson, and Richmond holds on. Top marks to our camera crew there for picking both of those up. Not easy to do with the amount of people that we've got out here on track. So, good work from them. Heyman wins then our first 250 MX2 moto of the day. And 8 seconds the winning margin at the end, but that flatters him somewhat. Jamie Keith pushed him very, very hard until the last couple of laps where he just ran out of steam a little bit. But a good second place from Jamie Keith on the Gozzo Honda. Charlie Richmond comes home in a really creditable third on the Crendon True 7 Honda. Then it's Gian Doonson, Tommy Searle, Ollie Colmer, Billy Askew, Josh Vale getting his way up to 8th place. A good result for him on the Phoenix Tools Fantic. And then it's Freddie Bartlett on the Absolute KTM. And then in 10th place on the Chambers KTM, it is Glenn McCormack. We will take a word from our partners and we will be back with Jeff in Victory Lane with our race victor, Charlie Heyman.
How would you like to win Tommy Searle's actual race bike? Well, at the end of the British Motocross season, we are going to be raffling it off to one of you that have a ticket. Okay, John, can you tell us a little bit about how this is different to a standard Triumph 250?
Yeah, so we begin with a 2026 TF250X from Triumph, and we completely strip the bike, modify the engine, EvoTech, full race engine, K-Tech take care of our suspension, some custom SM Pro wheels, Akrapovic pipe, X-Trig clamps, Dockwob titanium bolt kit throughout the bike, plus so much more.
And one of you is guaranteed to win all of that, but not just that. Every single week, we do tons of different competitions, whether it's cars, whether it's watches, whether it's bikes. Week after week, we give away prize after prize. And now it is down to you to be the next winner. But remember to keep your eyes peeled, because at the end of the season, someone will be winning Tommy Searle's race bike. To be in with a chance to win, all you need to do is head over to the TWD website, make an account, grab your tickets, and you really could be next.
This is Dirt Store. We're your one-stop shop for everything off-road. Find all of the latest products from the top off-road brands. Whether it's gear, parts, protection or accessories, Dirt Store has everything you need to hit the track. Shop fast, ride fast.
Okay, with me now.
Okay, here we are in the winner's circle. Charlie, that was a good race all round. Obviously, another victory, which builds confidence, but then results further down the field as well. You know, we keep saying in commentary, are you thinking about the championship? Are you not? Tell us where your head's at going into, like, obviously, as this championship goes on.
No, I kind of just turn up, do the same job every week, and I'm here to win, so that's what I aim to do. But obviously, we don't want to take stupid risks. There was no big risk took there. And, the start helped massively. I realised it was hard to pass, having to pass one rider, which I was like, oh, it's hard to pass, so I just got to ride my own race and keep them behind me. But I kind of did that. I felt really comfortable. No arm pump, nothing. So, I mean, it all kind of went together. So
it looks from the commentary booth like a track where you've got to be quite patient with at the minute. Obviously, they put a lot of water down this morning. It looks like it's like you can't over push it, because that might lead to mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. This morning it was even worse. Like, you couldn't push at all, really. I kind of found that, and I was sliding over. And then that race, it was better. There's a lot more grip out there, but I changed from a scoop tie then to the mud. But yeah, other than that, I think the track is getting better, and if the water stays in the ground, it's going to be mega for the next one as well.
Well, you're looking the part, as I said. Yeah, keep it rolling. Congratulations on another race win. Charlie's going to go and get ready for his second race. Let's bring in Jamie. Jamie Keith, come on in. They're all over there, you know, jabbing, breaking it all down, talking about their race. Don't worry about the TV side of it. Jamie, obviously good to see you back up here in the winner's circle. Your season so far, I mean, it started in incredible fashion. Yeah. It's tough making that step up to MX2. That was a good one. How do you feel after that?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, really. I seen a pit pod every lap. I was the fastest man on track at one point, and yeah, it's just, I'm not going to name anyone, but it's that same kid week in, week out. He didn't get out of the way, but yeah, he ruined my floor. I'm not on about Charlie, by the way. He ruined my floor, and that was it. I just called it a day, but you can't really complain at second, can you?
Yeah.
So no, I'm happy, and yeah, off the start of the season, obviously I won the first one, and yeah, it's good to be back.
And is it just like every time the building blocks? Because how are you finding genuinely now you're a few races in the step up from being in the 125 class to going into that MX2? How are you finding that whole thing? Because it's just that little bit more challenging.
Yeah, it's completely different coming up to MX2 than the 125, because obviously I'm racing with kids there, and obviously I'm racing with grown men now. I mean, Tommy, he was 37 yesterday, and I'm only 17, so Tommy's got a good 20 years on me, and yeah, it's completely different. Obviously, I was struggling a lot the past few weeks. It was seen the past couple of rounds, but no, I've sorted the things out, and I've changed quite a lot on my bike just to suit it to me a little bit more. And yeah, I think hopefully we have another good one, but that's shown that what I'm changing is working, and we're going in the right direction.
Good stuff. Hope to see you back up here in the second motor. You go and get yourself ready. Let's bring in another Charlie Richmond. Come on over. It's like, I feel like a game show host here. I'm like, The Price is Right. Come on down for those that are old enough to remember. Rocking, he's in Southern California. We're actually in Wales, not in California. Charlie, you've got to be pleased with that. Yeah, I mean...
Oh, definitely. It's so good to be back up here. It's been a while, man. It's been since September last year, last round of the British, so it's good to be back. And I'm making steady progress every week, so I'm really happy.
I just asked Jamie, you obviously coming off the back of a 125 championship, riding against riders that you've raced all the way through your career. That step where you go to MX2, you're suddenly racing with riders that you've never raced against. And, like all those experiences, like Tommy is a great example. How have you found that? I've just asked Jamie the same question.
Yeah, definitely. Like, everyone's so fast. Like, I'd say the whole top 10 is the same speed. So, like, it's all in the start. And to be fair, I kind of forget that I'm racing Tommy Searle and a couple of EMX riders as well. So it's good.
I'm loving the hat. Maybe we should get some corks on it next time out. Brilliant. Go and celebrate with your team, because that was awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'd like to thank the team and everyone else behind me.
Good stuff. He's going to go and get ready for his second. Great ride from Charlie Richmond there on the Honda team. As always, we're rattling through it. We've got the Pico MX1 coming up next, and of course that's absolutely epic at the minute, so don't go too far away. We're going to run a few adverts, get the kettle on, come back in time to make sure you watch the first Pico MX1 class. Can anybody beat Jefrey Herlings? Well, we're going to find out. At Ride, you're in control. Create something unique or choose from our wide range of base designs. Stand out with eye-popping colours and bring your kit to life with personalised details and logos. With our advanced materials and proven durability, our kits are built to perform. Head to our website and start designing today. Look good, feel good, ride good.
MXology, next generation performance in off-road. Find us at www.mxology.co.uk.
Welcome back here to Monster Mountain, close to Merthyr Tydfil here in kind of mid to South Wales, round 5 of the Motul ACU British Motocross Championship. Welcome everybody watching on FIM Moto TV as well. And we've got the Bullet with us again, which is great. He's actually, I'm going to mention this, which I'm pretty confident of getting the winner's circle. I think he's been here more times than me.
He's been here more times than me because I've never been here, but he has been here, raced here in the British Championship before previously, and he's also been here and done, they do a Wednesday midweek series through the summer, which he has done on a couple of occasions in the past, and he will be doing in the future in a couple of weeks, so that's good. And there is our fastest qualifier this morning with a 2 minutes 2 seconds 0.7 lap time from Conrad Muse, Ben Watson and Taylor Hamill. He was 1.9 ahead of Conrad Muse, but that's decent, I think. Ben there in 3rd, Hamill 4th, Oriel Oliver 5th, Adam Sterry 6th, Grimshaw 7th, Purden 8th, Bobby Bruce 9th, and Jason Mira rounding out our top 10 in qualifying in our Pico Factory Racing MX1. Then it is Kawasaki of Charlie Cole, Carlton Husband, Jamie Carpenter, Charlie Putnam, Ben Edwards, Lennox Dickinson, Cameron Duro, the South African, Travis Steele, Harvey Cashmore on the Chambers KTM, and the Stark Varg of Louis Brooks.
Good to see Adam Sterry returning to racing.
Yes.
Obviously, because he would have clearly been a title contender, or you'd like to think he'd be in the podium mix and all that. Of course, he would have been. So, before we get back to the racing, though, let's quickly go back. Again, some more partners that make all this happen. Don't go too far away. A little short ad break. We'll be back soon.
Welcome to Club Dirt Store, the new way to shop off-road. Stack up points with every order. Then bend your points for discounts. Join the club for free today.
Okay, here we go. Let's get this done. Always, whenever top level world champion, world class riders come and join us, it's always brings something to it. I love it. I mean, some people's like, well, we should be concentrating on the British ride. It raises the bar, it raises the level. What have you got to complain about? You've got the Bullet racing British motocross.
Yeah, one of the best riders ever to throw a leg over a motocross bike is here in the Motul ACU British Championship, and he is hopefully going to get put on a good show for the fans that are here. And they say they were streaming in when we got here early doors this morning, and there's a lot of cars and vans and everything parked all the way around the perimeter of this fantastic venue here in South Wales. But a Pico Factory Racing Race 1 for MX1. And there is Tom Grimshaw, the sole rider in the Pico team this weekend. So we're still waiting for Josh Gilbert to return. Tristan Purden then on the 772 Kawasaki. Second time out for him on that. Bobby Bruce, he's finding his feet in the 450 class. Jeffrey's been pretty decent. And a really good qualification then for the number 10 of Jason Mira. You can see there, that's the spectator, one of the spectator banks here at Monster Mountain.
Yeah, as always, British Motocross, it's the highest level outside of GPs that we have in the country, and MX1, they're all tough classes, but MX1, when you really get in, I mean, let's not beat around the bush here, 450s in their own right, just to be able to tame them and ride them at that level, it's so different, and you can be a great MX2 rider, but making that step, even Tommy towards the end of his career, with all his experience, he's like, oh no, I've got to get back off that. It's too much for me. Too much. It's like, you've got to be so physically strong and know how to ride these things for, hard for 25+2.
So there is the start straight, and like I say, they've been out. I think they've put a little bit of water down between races. See the Stones line there on the top as well, Jeff. So the roost here is one of those things that obviously, wherever you go, it is not good. But especially here with all of the stones, just the type of soil that we have here at Monster Mountain. Like I say, you would not believe. So that area where we've got our hospitality and everything down the right-hand side of the screen there, that was just a big puddle on Tuesday and Wednesday. It was really, really wet. You've got the other track over there in the background as well. Yeah. So a few weird choices for the gate then. So the Bullet goes to the inside. Was that Conrad that's gone about 5 gates over from the doghouse?
I think so, yeah. You got Okay, and then I'm assuming that's Hamill there in the all green that's gone pretty much next to Jefrey there.
Yeah, Jefrey having a bit of a getting the dirt down. There's the 83 of Oriol Oliver, the man on the Gabriel SS24 KTM. He's been really good in GPs, Jeff. I've been very surprised with the obviously good starts and holding a decent pace. There's the returning Adam Sterry on the Chambers KTM, a foot injury keeping him out of the last 2 rounds of the championship, I believe. So good to see him back. There's Charlie Putnam. There's the red plate of Conrad Muse. So he is a long way across that gate. He is banking on himself, getting the drop and being able to sweep round that Talladega first turn. He's there with Mira and husband.
Got to be confident. Yeah, he's there with his teammate. There's Ben Edwards, 33, doing great stuff. I mean, just the absolute MX team.
Travis Steele's hat tip to him. He took a whole shot at Land Raid. Let's not forget that.
It was
cool.
Brilliant.
Harvey Cashmore then on the Chambers KTM, moving up from MX2. There is the Stark Varg as well of Louis Brooks. No Stevie Clark this weekend. Like you say, he's still probably drinking on the success of leading, taking a whole shot on the... Well, I don't know whether he actually took the whole shot, but he led the race.
He led
the race.
And, you know, that would be a great pub quiz question trivia further down. 10 years' time. It was the first rider ever on a Stark Varg to lead laps.
So green flag out the back then, Jeff, and we wait for the 15-second board to go up, and then the 5, and we'll be underway with Moto 1 of our Pico Factory Racing MX1. Round 5, race 1. Cannot wait. Here they go then. Eyes down, guys. Gates down. Everybody away. Herlings got a good one down the outside. There's Conrad in the centre.
Oh, squeeze him, Watson.
Oh, bangs his start device off. And he's going to take a run down to turn 2. Herlings is trying to go around the outside. Conrad shows him the wide line.
Do you know, I think Herlings was trying to do the same thing. The way he was wheeling down that straight, I think he was trying to get his start device to disengage. Okay, here we go. Then Conrad leading laps. Now, these two have been at it around this track enough times. Like we said, with Monster Mountain midweek events as well. Let's see what he's got. Watson there in 3rd.
So it is still the red plate holder, Conrad Muse, on the Crendon True 7th Honda. Is he going to take the tight line here and force Jeffrey around the outside? He does. Oh, Herlings up the inside. What a pass.
Yeah. He's going to just be on it. I should imagine he's still angry from the unfortunate DNFs that he's had in World Championship Motocross. Roger Harvey here today as well, watching his a rider that he's just wanted to sign really for so long. Yeah. So Roger's obviously pleased, but HRC team just a little bit unfortunate the last couple of GPs.
Yeah, something that you're not used to seeing. A couple of Kawasaki's up there in the mix as well, but not as we would expect. It's the 23 of Taylor Hamill. It was Charlie Cole who was the first of the Kawasaki's. He is there, I think, all in white with Tristan Purdon on the number 41 there in 5th as well. So this is your top 5. Herlings from Muse, then it's Watson. Then that's Charlie Cole there in the white and Purdon in the green. Not quite sure. I think that's Sterry there behind him on the 811 then, Jeff. So he's there in 6th place. We'll get them across the line. This was where Herlings was unbelievable in practice.
Went there in 2. I mean, they're all going to do that on the 450, the top riders, clearly. Yeah. They've got the power to launch over that Dragon's back. I should imagine, you know, like, obviously he wants to win all the time. Conrad, this whole thing about should be doing GPs and all that. There's no question. I mentioned before the race started. To have Jeffrey here is good for him, particularly... As we said, the cat's out of the bag. No, we all know he had a very difficult off-season, double hip operation. He'll love the fact that Jeffrey's here because that is going to give him somebody to really go at and just concentrate more on him and not think championship. Because Watson we know this, it's tight. There's only 1 point in it between Watson and Muse in the championship. So that way he can knuckle down and maybe not feel the pressure of the championship because he's just chasing Herlings, if you understand what I mean.
100%, Jeff. I totally agree. He's going to chase him as hard as he can for the first 4 or 5 laps, see where he's at. And if that gives him the speed to break away from the Dirt Store triumph of Ben Watson, then so be it. But this was where we saw the pass on the last lap. You can see...
Okay, so looking at the thing there, that was Purdon actually, because he was also wearing white kit. So that was Purdon actually making a good start.
Right.
because they both had white kit on, so that's why
right,
we
but
thought...
the other Kawasaki,
still good.
Cole has dropped down the order, so he's obviously had a mare somewhere, but they were definitely both there as they came through. Yeah. So that's a shame for Charlie Cole, but anyway, so it's Purdon then that's in fourth. Tom Grimshaw then up there in fifth. He's been kind of dieseling his way through to fifth place finishes this year, but he's got a good start in this one, and he's there on the Pico Racing Honda in front of Aurel Oliver, Adam Sterry, Jamie Carpenter, Jason Mira and Ben Edwards.
Speed they go around this track. That's what I mean. Just 450s, but when you put world-class riders on it, and that, it's just a joy to watch. Because, again, TV never does it justice. I mean, there's a bunch of people at home that probably ride club level and watching this and all those kind of things. But when you actually get out here and you see the distances that he jumped then to get over that thing, it doesn't look much on there. You go out there like that, that's just some ways to just launch a bike over
I kind of stood in the middle of the circuit there during practice, and it was more than impressive. So fastest lap then, Phoenix Tug's fastest lap of the race then for none other than the number 84 of Honda HRC Petronas' Jefrey Herlings.
2:05.930. There you go.
3 seconds off his qualifying pace though, Jeff. So not what you would consider a startlingly good lap time, and then that's Edwards missing the front number plate. So he's obviously been down because he's there back with Jack Bennington and I think that was
Charlie Putnam, wasn't it?
Charlie Putnam. So Fowler there.
That's the other Putnam.
That's Sid. Yeah, that's Sid. And again, another rider that's moved up from MX2. I think eventually, guys, with Simon Booth, 447. He's been around. He is a veteran now.
He is an absolute veteran.
He'll always come and have a go at this, and I really respect him for that.
I was just going to say that, Phil. The investment that he alone has put into British motocross at this level. Yeah, he used to rock up all the time, rain or shine.
Yeah. So here we've got then the 23 of Taylor Hamill on the back now of Bobby Bruce, the battle for 8th, 9th and 10th. There's Mira on the Yamaha, and then the team at 25.79 Honda. And Bobby Bruce then building his own team for this year after a couple of years in the wilderness, really, through injury and one thing and another. And
still only young though. I think.
He is.
I think he just turned 20 last. I think it was last week. I'm sure it was 20.
Yeah. Oh, that was a pass, or it wasn't.
It was. It is now.
It was one. It looked like it was going to be two briefly.
It was half a pass, and then it was a punt, get out of the way. It is a pass. So Taylor's starting to get aggressive, and again, this is right up Taylor Hamill's street. He loves hardpack. Living down there, right between sort of Southampton and Portsmouth. We have a lot of hard-based tracks down there that we used to ride on. Still, obviously, Cusses Gores and all those kind of places. So he's used to. That's his favoured condition.
But it is drying out really nicely, and this is Hamill's worst race of the year.
Yeah.
Just goes to show how good his season has been, and he was way down on the first lap. Properly did not get that DRT Kawasaki off the line, and they're having a good season. Steve Dixon, obviously Kai Karsmakers, not doing the British Championship this year, concentrating on doing the Dutch and obviously GPs, but he's in the top 10 pretty much every week, so they're just having a decent run.
I would say, I'd go as far as saying, look, Taylor's doing himself proud, clearly, and he's doing his team proud, because if you break it down, really, beyond obviously Conrad, Watson, Herlings, who is there in British motocross, other than going and looking at GPs for a rider from abroad, and he's justifying totally the support that he gets from Steve and everything he's doing. So
there was a rider in white Kawasaki kit off to the side of the track there. So was that Purdon or was that Cole? Not sure. But this is the battle for 10th. They've already dropped.
Yeah, so he's already so he's passed Bruce. So this is if he gets, obviously Mira, you can see there in 8th on the K-Tech timing time. He's going to shoot it down the inside.
Herlings then away by 4 seconds at the front, Jeff, from Conrad Muse, and then a further 5 seconds back is Ben Watson. So fairly static at the front of this one, which we kind of half suspected would be the case, bar for injuries and accidents at the start.
I think the telling story right now, the story of the top sort of, let's say 10 then, is actually Horario Olivier back there in 6th. You know, he's you kind of like, you know, Spanish rider. I mean, he's good in all conditions, but again, hard pack. He hasn't really set a light in this one like he has done at the earlier rounds.
No, so Hamill then finds his way past Jason Mira, and he will come across the line in 8th.
You can see the ruts, for example, that the bigger bikes are jumping over. That's where the MX2 bikes and 125s were landing. The 450s, MX1 have got the power to do that rhythm section. That Dragon's back in a different scenario. That corner there, I have to cross that to go to the winner's circle. That is really chewed up as they come back out onto the start straight. Those ruts are massive all the way around that corner. I could just see in the background there. Oh no, I was just thinking that was Conrad, but I think he was just going past a lap rider because the gap is 4.1. Herlings dictating the pace.
So here is the battle then with Purdon, Oliver and Grimshaw, and it is the 41 772 Kawasaki of Tristan Purdon. Like I say, changed teams earlier this year, so only the second round on that green bike, and he's finding it to his liking.
Looks very good across the board, and his white race kit. Here we go. He's going to amp it up now. Oriel thinking, right, I've got to go here. I'm losing a few more championship points. He needs to dispose of Grimshaw, and he powers around the outside and gets that move done.
Yeah, that track has opened up a lot there because everybody was going down the left-hand side there, Jeff, earlier on in our 125 and MX2 races, but these boys, they know how to find better lines, let the track develop. Unusual to see Tom Grimshaw going that way, but he was up there in 5th. It was a good start, and these boys that he's racing with, they're pretty decent. So
they are, definitely are. I just want to give 772 team another little honourable shout out, because if you've seen it on social media, they're trying to raise funds to go on their social media, but to go and do the British GP with their team and their riders.
Yes, I saw that.
So just go and check them out. You can buy like a raffle ticket, and the money goes into getting the riders there. Win prizes. You can go to the Kawasaki MX Experience Day and get some coaching, all that kind of stuff. Go and do it. Go and support them. We want them at the British GP. Let's do it.
Yeah, and also a good tight-knit team there with not a massive amount of budget. So doing what they can to get themselves on the line. It is not cheap to race motocross at that level, and everything that we can do to help them, we'll put another British Championship team in the frame for the GP, which is only it's only 3 weeks away, I think. Jeff, is it second week of July?
I think 4 or 5 weeks. It's coming round quick.
Yes, it is.
It'd be interesting to see soon. I think they're going to release like the finished product of the track. Been a few little spy shots.
Yeah, it's looking decent.
I've been up there. I've got to say, it is looking really good. They found a bunch of decent topsoil, believe it or not, within the vicinity.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so that will be all over the top. It'll be good.
So here is Aurel Oliver then closing in, or is he closing in on Purdon? He's made the move on Grimshaw. Sterry there in 7th. That's not a bad ride for him first time back. I know that he's not done a massive amount of riding since his injury.
No, always tough, and he's been off the bike a long time. But obviously Adam, with all that experience again, you know, now it creeps up on you all of a sudden that he is a genuine vet of the class, you know. I was clearing off files actually of my computer. I got a load of old pictures from back in the day from magazine work, and I found an absolute belter of Nuno Lanières of Sterry on an 85 at Cullen.
Yeah,
and I sent it to him, and he was like, "Oh wow!" And I'm like, "God, I've been commentating on you a long time."
Yeah, one of my first races that I did was him and his teammate Dan Thornhill battling together in Big Wheel 85s at Mallory Park in one of Ken Winstanley's Masters Championships, which is probably 2009 or something, or maybe 2010, who knows. But anyway, he is a veteran of the class, but still a really, really good performer. A big look over the shoulder then from Tristan Purdon. And
I think he looks really good on that Kawasaki Purden. I don't know. I think he just looks a little bit better than he probably did even on the. I mean, he's still getting used to the bike, etc. I think it just seems to suit his frame. He looks a little bit more comfortable on that than he did on the Honda. Hence, maybe that's the reason why the change. We don't know full ins and outs of it, but
if you get yourself a good base setting and you feel that you can work with the bike, then the pushing for the results kind of makes things move along quite nicely. But he is there in fourth. Obviously, Herlings is checked out at the front. We'll go back to him in a bit, but this is where the battle is. And it's fair to say that Grimshaw isn't particularly dropping away. Sterry is only another couple of seconds back there in at seventh. So if his late race pace and fitness is still what it was, he may well have something to say about this.
Good battle, this. Actually, you're absolutely right.
There he is in the background on the Chambers KTM.
Yeah, and well done, Tom Grimshaw, for not absolutely just sticking with it. He's hanging on the back of that. That was nice.
That's the pass that took Herlings past Conrad Muse earlier on in the race, and whatever the line choice there. And again, Purden has to cover the inside there, Jeff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I mean, but this you've highlighted it just a moment ago, Phil, and we did it certainly in the race before. As the track dries, lines are starting to open up that just wasn't there in like the early part of certainly practice. So as the track dries, this is where you've got to be creative. It's already well saying it's fast and hard to pass, but as the track dries, you need to start experimenting, getting out there in some of like that sort of as it's going tacky, and create your own new lines. And that certainly looked like Oriel sussed that corner out, where early doors, maybe in practice, they were all taking that inside line.
So the 16 of Pico Factory Racing Honda, Tom Grimshaw, has not given up the battle here, and he is now right back on the back wheel of the 41 of Tristan Purden. I'll take wherever you are watching back at home, please give us a like and subscribe on Facebook, MXGB TV. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, MXGB-TV, don't forget to set the bell, and you will not miss any of the action here at Monster Mountain this weekend.
So Herlings using it quite rightly. I'm sure he's got plenty in the tank, but we're at the 10-minute mark, coming up to that rest to go, and he's starting to up the ante, using it, no doubt. He's still got to keep himself sharp for GP. He's not just going to roll over, I'm sure he's got plenty in the tank, but he's just gone quicker again. Quickest lap of the race with a 2:05.161, and that's why that gap suddenly went out by another second over Conrad, another second and a half.
But Conrad kept him honest. Let's be honest, it's 5 seconds, it's not an eternity. Ben Watson's dropped off, he's 20 seconds adrift, so he's sitting there in a decent third position, but that's going to cost him another 2 points in the championship. The only saving grace for him that with Herlings taking the win, the gap would not go out by another 3. But Purden then not able to run the pace there. Sterry closing in quite quickly. There is Conrad Muse, our second place man on the Crendon True 7 Honda.
Yeah, he's just got to keep pushing. I mean, Watson has been dropped here big time. Look at the gap now, just like that. While we've been concentrating on the battles just in and around and outside the top 5. Last time I looked, I mean, not looking all the time, but obviously Watson was a few seconds back and turned away for like a few laps, and now it's out to nearly 20 seconds.
Ben's never been here before.
Yeah, no, we saw that in this morning. Yeah,
never been to the place. So, and obviously Conrad's here for the midweek master stuff as well. So, 14 seconds then the gap from Ben Watson to Oriel Oliveira. I can't see that closing down. There's the aerial view of the finish line.
Well, if we hold that shot, we should see Watson coming. There he is.
Yeah, there's Ben.
View. Now, interesting. I'm going to ask him about this if he stays in third and makes it to the winner's circle. I had interested in his social media posts this last week saying about, I've got to go back to just like having fun. I've all got a bit heavy on myself. I've also got a bit.
This is a career thing for Ben. He's quite hard on himself, I think, and I've known him since he was on an 85 and that. And when he's in full flow and enjoying being in the moment on the bike and not trying to overthink it too much, that's when the results come. And I think that maybe he expected to be a little, not faster than he is, but I just think that he's been under pressure from Conrad Mewes like from the beginning of the year, had a good start, held the red plate, and that's gone away. And I think that now with the momentum going to Conrad, he just needs to kind of get back to riding how he knows he can ride, and that's something he does say a lot. But never been here before. I'd imagine it's quite difficult to get a good setup that works all day
around this place. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe he'll make some changes. You can ask him what you're going to change for Moto 2, and as a result of that, we might see a little bit more. But again, Ben doing the smart thing. I'm not going to catch Conrad. I'm not going to stick my neck out. He just needs to be third. And really, the gap doesn't matter. As long as he knows that he can come out and do something better in Moto 2, he can find some lines, have a look around, maybe put in a couple of quick laps at the end and come back and go, we'll put 2 clicks of preload on it or whatever. And he'll come out in Moto 2 and try and stay with them from the start.
He's been quite open as well, though, hasn't he, throughout this championship, saying about how he's got so accustomed to GPs in the 2-day format, how he's kind of struggles to just really get up to speed quick enough at British Championship rounds, which, you know, I totally understand. If your body's programmed and you're kind of used to giving yourself that time through all those extra qualifiers and a qualifying race. So he's got to do it. As I said, the championship, you know, as it stands at the minute, he's obviously losing another 2 points, but that'll only stretch the gap out because he's only 1 point behind coming in.
It's not a disaster. If he wins the second race and Conrad finishes second, they're all square again. So look, anything can happen. But yeah, it's been. I think it's been a difficult couple of rounds, and I thought he did actually ride pretty well at Landrake. But anyway, we are getting down to the last 5 minutes plus 2 laps of this first of our Pico Factory Racing MX1 races. There is the man from Colville, Jack Penniston, on the Honda. And there's our race leader, Jefrey Herlings.
Yeah, and there he is, storming into the view. Yeah. For those of you that obviously are tuning in to watch Jefrey, well, this is a chance now. We haven't been following him too much just because, quite frankly, you see a lot of him all the time, and he's just riding away at the front. We want to try and find a bit more close action, but we'll probably hang with him now for a little while, although Jack is benefited from Herlings coming by. He's getting a bit of TV time, so... unless he's already gone by him, has he?
No, he's going to catch him, I think.
There we go.
There we go. There's Herlings going past.
Yeah.
Phoenix Talk's fastest lap. And to be fair, they are all on Hondas and they all do look the same. There's Mewes in second. But yeah, Penniston, he's one of the riders that this championship needs. He's the guy that comes week in, week out and supports it. There's a lot of guys out there of his level that can benefit from coming and doing a couple of rounds of this Motul ACU British Championship. And as a result of that, the speed that you find here without even knowing, when you go back and do your other stuff, that speed has come from nowhere. So Jefrey Herlings then, there he is on the factory Honda HRC Patronus 450 Honda. And he will literally turn up and race anywhere if he feels that it's going to balance his GP campaign. He can't train, that's one of the things, Jeff. He can't be. He's not a gym guy and a bicycle guy. He just needs to ride, stay fit and stay ready. And he's got all he can handle with Lucas Coonan and Kaida Wolf now in the MXGP Championship. But it's great that we are able to get a rider of his calibre here at Monster Mountain.
What a career, you know, and that whole, as every rider will, when they eventually park it up, will look back and said, you know, give it my all. And it's hard not to have regrets, and there could have been, should have been. I mean, you know, championship-wise, he was so unlucky as well. It could have been more championships than what he's already had. Interesting to see again on social media this week, you know, showing what he's kind of outlining what he does out of the sport. He's actually got more properties than he has the number on his back. They made an announcement this week. They've now got 92 rental properties.
Yes.
All bought and paid for from Motocross. That is not a too bad way to invest your money, is it?
Yeah, he's not going to be short of a few quid anyway, but I don't see him being a flash the cash guy much on social media. No. He's quite... I know he's got his toys, but he tends to keep himself fairly private. Although he's very approachable at the track, Jeff. He was mobbed in the paddock here for autographs earlier on, and his way down to the autograph session, which we did at the Michelin Hospitality unit, as we do at every round. But he's always got time for us as as commentators and the race organisers, and which is always a pleasure to have along.
I mean, let's be honest. When he was racing you know, Tommy in MX2, he was a British fan's nemesis. We all wanted to see him get beaten. You know, like he was Tommy's main rival. So, but now that's kind of passed. I think a lot more British fans are like, yeah, he's kind of cool, you know. And I like the way constantly he's always been sort of true to his values and not shy of like saying it as it is, which I love to see in sport. I think we can turn into a too big a corporate machine. Everybody worried about upsetting sponsors and all that kind of stuff, and you need characters. You know, I mean, I get the corporate line. Don't get me wrong, but there's a balance. You don't want to be turning into a robot.
Yeah, the corporate line is all well and good, but yeah, his frankness and openness, and the same with Roman Federer to a certain extent, is refreshing. So we've gone back to this Purdon battle because it's still raging. Only 1 minute 27 left on the clock. Sterry is there on the back of Tom Grimshaw. Taylor Hamill closing in, but he's 8th place is going to be the not the highlight of Taylor Hamill's season, but he's put in a decent ride. He's just had to come from way back because he was buried on lap 1, Jeff. And like I say, I'm used to seeing him be the top of the green train, as it were. But he was a long way back, so he's motored through to that 8th position. Bruce there in 9th, and Mira still there in 10th.
Front end twitching everywhere. That's an evenly matched battle there, but you know, because like since Oliveira's gone by, he hasn't. Look, he's only just up the road.
He's not far ahead.
No, he's not. And these four have been pretty evenly matched. Certainly for the last 10 minutes or so, it's marginal gains here and there.
And with Tom Grimshaw sitting there just within roost range, as it were. He's also coming under pressure from Adam Sterry, who will be getting the same ×2, although Burden's roost probably not finding its way back that far. Although, did I see that there was a little bit more of a gap there for the number 16?
Well, I saw him just looking across the track. That's probably a good thing. So he's looking forward, probably trying to gauge his speed against somebody who was just up the track a little bit.
Yeah, Adams just dropped back a few by lengths, so he is likely to be feeling the pace a little bit after being out for a couple of rounds with that what was not a massively friendly foot injury. So and they're all difficult to deal with. Obviously, your feet take a lot of hammer at motocross. So he is back there in 7th place, but he will be no doubt wanting to build on that in Moto 2. But I think now that the 41 of Tristan Purdon has done enough to cement that 5th place.
Interested to see at the sharp end as well. The gap's gone out to 10 seconds there. It's a little bit of both, I think. By that I mean, I think Herlings is still marching on, wants to keep that high intensity ready for the next GP, all that kind of stuff. So he's still throwing out pretty spectacular laps, and I think Conrad's just gone, let's just hold a little bit back, because if I try and put it to him in the second one and get him win the overall.
Yeah, Conrad has a championship to consider, and that is very, very finely balanced at the moment, chasing Jefrey Herlings for, I'll say, no purpose whatsoever. If the race is there to be had, and let's be honest, if he was in with a shot of putting 3 points more into Ben Watson as a result of passing Herlings, he would be certainly trying to do that. And there he is, right on cue. But he will take a well-deserved 2nd place, and he will be happy to extend that championship lead. Watson's 40 seconds adrift now, so maybe the Dirt Store rider has a problem, or as I said, maybe he's just keeping his powder dry for Moto 2. Sure whether we've got 1 or 2 to go, Jeff, so I guess we will find out in a second when we get to the line.
Yeah, well, I think we're okay anyway. I can get there in time. We got the little adverts that we throw in between anyway, so we should be all right. Yeah. I think this is going to be 1 to go next time around if I got it right. But then,
yeah, we're nicely positioned where we are. We're near enough to be not too far away. Some of those ruts get in pretty deep.
And they're starting to chew out as well. That's the thing. Not only are they deep, they're starting to get that classic where you feel like you're just being constantly punched in the kidneys as you accelerate out the corners. Yeah, 1 to go.
But there is your race leader making his way down the start straight for the final time. It's been a clinic from the Bullet, 4-time world champion. Jefrey Herlings has come and stamped his authority here on round 5 at Monster Mountain. which is obviously no surprise, and our wish is that this man or anybody else in the field could give him a good run for his money. We'll have to wait until Moto 2. But as with any rider of his calibre, you've just got to enjoy watching what he's doing.
I'm going to throw a question at you because I'm just going to see how clued up you think you are, or take a guess. Third quickest rider on track currently. Who would you go for?
I will always go for Taylor Hamill.
Absolutely on the money. He is still pushing on. Yeah, fair play to him. He's, like I said, it's not exactly where he wanted to be, but he is still trying to bridge that gap. So last time around, it was Herlings with a 2:07.3, Conrad 2:09.0, and then Taylor with a 2:10. Well done. Maximum points there, Phil. Nice one.
Oh, you got to get up early in the morning to get one across me, Jeff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, final lap then for Jefrey Herlings. Again, I would pay money to watch him ride around a field on his own and to see him around this lovely bit of off-camber.
Careful what you say, he might pull you up on that.
Look, mate, the check will clear at the minute. Just about. Obviously, the wife might not be too pleased that the house improvements got thrown out the window because we wanted to watch Jefrey Herlings ride around the field. But she would be there to watch as well.
Listen, if you're involved with this sport for as long as you have, and you're seriously trying to save stuff for it, you're in the wrong game.
I know.
Right, let's go and see what he's got to say.
So a win then for Jefrey Herlings, who will come across the line and take the checkered flag in Moto 1 here of our Pico Factory Racing MX1 Championship race. And he's ridden straight past. Hopefully he will come back to the holding area. We'll wait then for second place man Conrad Muse to come across the line. Ends up about 10 seconds adrift, which he kept the gap at 5 seconds for pretty much half of that race, which is more than respectable. Herlings was not hanging about. His lap times were pretty much on the money for the whole of that race. Not much of a cruise. 17 seconds at the end, but with having almost 40 seconds on Ben Watson. There's Sterry. He's coming under pressure from Taylor Hamill. So the man who is third fastest on track currently on that DRT Kawasaki, I think he's just going to run out of real estate to put the pass on the man from the Chambers KTM team, although they both found their way past Tom Grimshaw at the start of the final lap. So it's Purdon, Sterry, Hamill, Grimshaw. So the 16 Pico Factory Racing rider then not managing to hang on to what was a 6th place finish as they came across the line. So there they go, Sterry, Hamill, Grimshaw, and then it'd be Bobby Bruce, and 10th place then will be Jason Mira. We were going to have a word now from our partners, and we will be back with Jeff down in Winner's Circle.
Is Dirt Store. We're your one-stop shop for everything off-road. Find all of the latest products from the top off-road brands. Whether it's gear, parts, protection or accessories, Dirt Store has everything you need to hit the track. Shop fast, ride fast.
Okay, here we are in Winner's Circle. Perfect timing, as always, from Jeffrey there. Just cruising, bang on cue. Another good solid performance for you. I've got to ask you this. When you come and race these British Championships, how do you set your mindset? Do you just obviously want to win, but do you also use it with one eye on the GPs and training and even adjustments to the bike?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's great tracks, often in England. That's why I keep coming back. And good competition, like Conrad at home, he's for sure a top 10 MXGP rider. If he breaks that speed to MXGP, he could easily be between P5 and P10. So it's a great training. Obviously, stars in this track. And we managed to get second behind Conrad and pass him the first lap and managed to control afterwards. But the track is perfect condition, really like a GP. So, definitely eyes on the championship for the MXGP. But obviously, with the disappointing things happening to me the last couple of races, the championship is far out of reach by now. But we keep doing our best and try to go for individual Moto and GP wins or whatsoever, and we keep fighting for that championship, even though it's looking very difficult right now. But going back to your question, this is just like a pure training.
I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't want to upset you talking about that. This is almost like your second track. You've been here more times than me.
Have I? Yeah, I mean, I got a good relationship with the owner, and he's a lovely dude, man. Really appreciate him, and he always loves me to come here, and I love coming to his track. And like I said, it feels like really a GP track. The dirt is amazing. Just the stones, they hurt quite bad, but further than that, it's an amazing place. And today we're lucky with the weather because not always in England we get such a sunny weather. So yeah, I've been here. It's my third time now. Yeah.
I'm glad you've noticed that. Well, look, go and get yourself ready. You've got a bunch of people that want to see you. Well done, Jeffrey. Another race win. Let's bring in Conrad. Conrad, again, you know, like last time we raced, obviously DT also sort of said about difficult off-season that you had. You didn't really want to talk about it, but now really looking like you're coming up to speed. Obviously, when Jeffrey's here, that's got to be really good for you as well because you can just really get into it.
Yeah, definitely. It's great for me when he comes over. You know, it pulls me along a lot. I have a completely different focus, and I feel like I'm just trying to stay with him for as long as I can. You know, I know that it's going to be extremely difficult to beat him. It's extremely difficult to even lead from him from a lap. Yeah. So I didn't even manage that today. But no, honestly, it's great to have him over. I know that if I'm somewhere near him, I should be a bit away from the rest, you know, and that's my focus. And yeah, the boys behind are riding great, and they're keeping me on my toes. So it's going to be an interesting second race. But I'm feeling good. Like I said, I'm getting better every weekend, and I feel like I've the timing of this season, although it weren't ideal, is coming good. So
I was just going to say, you must feel like now, obviously you kept it under wraps, but you've got to be happy, I should imagine, of where you're at now, taking the off-season into account.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said at Landrake was a big weight off my shoulders because I didn't even expect to really. I had doubts, you know, coming into this season because I weren't in a great way. But yeah, it's done now. It's in the past. It weren't any excuses. I turned up to the first round ready, and I was a little bit off, and I worked on that, and I've come good now. So yeah, that's the most important thing, and hopefully we can just keep getting better.
Keep rolling because you've got to stay on your toes because it's still a tight championship. Yeah. Good luck in the second one. Let's bring Ben in. We were just saying in commentary there, Ben, we believe this is your first time racing here. So, I mean, that always a bit of a curveball when you're coming in and you've got to do it. How are you finding it out there? Obviously not really where you want to be. And I noticed on social media this week, you were almost saying, I've got to get back to making it fun again.
Yeah, that's right. It was my first time here. Obviously not racing in the UK for a little while, but it's a fairly new track. So it's not like one that I grew up racing as a kid. And then obviously with this schedule being one day, if it was in the GP, I'd have a lot more time on Saturday to ride it and, you know, before the races. So that's just one of them things. It's a similar story all year, and like that's one thing I've got to get used to. It's definitely not an excuse, but yeah, it wasn't, not that I'm like really struggling at the moment, but just not really feeling comfortable. And there's a few things that I've been trying to change, and then I've gone a bit off the beaten track and trying to maybe do some strange ideas, and yeah, losing the feeling I've got. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm going out there on a new bike. So we've kind of gone back to basics a little bit for this weekend. Again, I need to still get used to the bike, but it's already a step in the right direction. I had a good few laps. After the first 2 laps then, the guys were a bit faster, and then I had a few 3-4 laps in the middle where I was good, and then I just tightened up a little bit, and when they got that gap and there was a gap behind me, I kind of just settled into my rhythm, tried to make no mistakes. I just feel like on the Dragons back there's a few people said that I could do that in 2 instead of 3, so probably losing a bit of time there. So we'll go to work.
Bit of video analysis, you can use live stream for that. But like, you're still very much in it. You know, the championship's still really close, so plenty to fight for.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Okay, so there you go. That was the top 3 in the Apico MX1 class. We're going to go back to the start now. We got the RFX 125s coming up next. Obviously, that's just a great championship across the board with these 3 classes. Again, we're at the halfway stage of round 5 here. Don't go too far away. Plenty more action to come. We'll see you in a bit.
so I make it harder. Don't hold back. If you think about it, so many people do be cool and look smarter. Don't hold back. And you shouldn't even care about those noses in the air and the crooked stairs. Don't hold back. Cause there's a party over here, so you might as well be here with the people care. Don't hold back.
Trajectory and balance look good. You're confirmed to go for orbit. Over.
Every day, Michelin innovates to move the world forward on the road and far beyond. Michelin, motion for life.
This is Dirt Store. We're your one-stop shop for everything off-road. Find all of the latest products from the top off-road brands. Whether it's gear, parts, protection or accessories, Dirt Store has everything you need to hit the track. Shop fast, ride fast.
Welcome back. Here we are at Monster Mountain, round 5 of the Motul ACU British Championship. We're at the halfway stage of today, not of the championship. We're just kind of past that. Phil, so far, so good. There's been some great stuff out there. Track developing nicely. Yeah, it's all shaping up pretty good. Very technical circuit out there. Again, every time I just walk through this section here, I'm like, whoa, yeah. I'm glad I don't do this anymore.
This is the easy bit as well. But yeah, it's been some good racing. Really, really impressive. And something that you picked up in the obviously in the winner's circle that I didn't. Hayden Statt's first win in the RFX 125 Championship. So congrats to him and the Chambers team for that. Like I say, last year when we had the streak of everybody winning around, I always got it in my head that he was the man that had already picked one up, but he hadn't. But anyway, he qualified third, but he took victory in the first one from Drew Stock and Harley Marjak. But let's not forget that the youngster on the 581 Briggs Racing Yamaha led most of the race until he tipped off out of the sight of our cameras, because we were trying to say something more interesting a little bit further down.
Always away.
And so he ended up finishing third in that first one with Arthur Moore, Lucas Moncrief, Joel Winstanley Dawson, Archie Stapley, Ollie Waters, Finley J and Jensen 7 rounding out the top 10. Obviously that was qualifying that we saw earlier on there.
Brilliant result, by the way. I'm just going to throw it out there. Arthur Moore, absolutely brilliant. His best result in this class from stepping up from the 85s.
Yes.
He missed a round as well, didn't he?
Yeah. And he's doing pretty well for a rider stepping up on that 125 TM and doing good stuff with that. You can see how well the track has dried out. We've seen that we've got the ability here, as per the Americans, where we can water the track from the side with a nice big boom on the side of the trailer. There is the 467 TM rider.
Yeah, for those of you, just don't be alarmed. This is not race pace. We haven't missed the start.
This is the side that has Archie Heron.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, a really like good day's racing. It's a nice day to be riding motorbikes. These are the current standings. After Moto 1, we've got some good stuff here. So Drew Stock then 37 points to the good of Harley Marjak. It's Joe Winstanley Dawson then still there in third, and he's extended his third by a couple of points. Then it's Waters, Stapley, Heron, Lucas Moncrief, Chris Brindley, Alfie Geddes Green not here today. Hayden Statt breaks into the top 10. So he will be going for his first overall win in the RFX 125 Championship. And with how his season went so far, he's got nothing to lose. Drew Stock doesn't really need to worry about him at all, and will hopefully not get into a fist fight with him, metaphorically speaking, because he needs to concentrate on Harley Marjak and how he is riding. And out of the gate this morning, you would say that the youngster on that Briggs Racing Yamaha looking like he fancies his first win.
Joe Winstanley just throwing a little semi-half whip as he comes over the line on his sighting lap. Okay, while we get these guys back in the holding pen and get them to get stacked and racked, we're going to go back to another shout-out from our partners, but don't go too far away. The start of the second moto for the RFX 125s is about to go down soon.
Welcome to Club Dirt Store, the new way to shop off-road. Stack up points with every order. Then bend your points for discounts. Join the club for free today.
Welcome back. Okay, here we go. Round 5 for the RFX 125s is going to be decided within the next half an hour, 25 minutes, half an hour, something like that. And as you said, Phil, Hayden Statt, what a great story that would be, coming back from a pretty nasty injury. As I said, he was laid up in a body brace there for quite a while. Scary times, certainly. His dad sort of witnessed the whole thing. So
And not much of a crash, apparently.
No, but, you know, obviously the reaction afterwards is always going to ring alarm bells. So, yeah, let's see if he can get it done. I mean, that you could argue Hayden's always had that speed. Of course, he has in the 125 class last year. Couldn't ever really sort of quite put two real solid ones together, like you just mentioned. So he's got to try and do that now to get the overall in the bag. And, of course, I suppose you could say he's at a little bit of advantage that he can roll the dice. He don't have to worry about losing a bunch of championship points. Having said that, you want to try and build a bit of momentum. Don't want to be coming back from injury and then overcooking it.
The start device then on the S. Briggs Yamaha of Harley Marjak being well and truly wedged down. Handguards there on the 581. There is Drew Stock with his start blocks. Smaller handguards on there. And then Hayden start.
Hayden start blocks, either way you put them round, are massive.
He was carving those out yesterday. I was here on Saturday.
Was he a lumberjack?
Yeah, and he's okay.
Nice.
And he was carving those some little bits and bobs out of that the other day when we got here, and I'm just like, if that was me, I'd be like,
just trying to read what it says on the side. Yeah,
I missed the race because I took my thumb off with a chisel or something. So that he was making those yesterday. Finley J there on the 357, and then the 531 of Lucas Moncrief on the free throw Madison Yamaha. Again, he's another guy that's he's making way in this class. It's a talented class. We've seen already that the top two guys from last year have gone up to MX2 and made a nuisance of themselves at the front. And it is a quality class. And Archie Stapley, another one of the S. Briggs junior riders. It's a cracking set of lads that we've got here. And I really don't know who I'm going to pick for victory in this second race.
Final words there from Craig, Hayden's dad. Drew Stock in the winner's circle. I know you don't always get to hear those interviews, Phil, but basically saying, I was just not feeling it. A bit nervy about the track, a little bit wet. I didn't want to over push it. It took me a little while to get into the rhythm of the race. So he's expecting better things.
He's a smart rider, and obviously he's got his AMX campaign as well. So no point in throwing himself up the track if he's not feeling the love for it. And like I say, his main championship rival finished behind him, so he can take at least some solace from that. But there they are, all lining up down the inside, although Stat taking sixth gate over, giving himself a little bit more room. The track almost perfect now, is it? It's not too wet and mushy. You wouldn't be really. I don't think you'd be wanting a scoop tyre off the line here. It's certainly not deep enough.
No. Interesting. Again, Charlie Heyman saying that a lot of races this year they've gone with a scoop, but from practice to the opening race, he swapped out that scoop tyre for a regular motocross tyre and still pulled a whole shot.
I just think it's...
Now, there you go. Read into that what you will.
I'll be the controversial man and say it. Look, it's just all a gimmick. But it is a genuine... You can see that, well, hang on, if I don't get the start, I'm just going to be stuck behind all these guys that did get away with the scoop tyre on. I'm not sure how much difference it really makes on a 125. But look, when all the pros are doing it, what do I know?
But I think you've also got to read the conditions. Yes, it was disked up, but in this morning it was so much heavier. Charlie, well, he obviously made the right decision because he pulled a whole shot and won the race.
Yeah, there's Chad Prince.
So, yeah,
Chad Princeton of former British champion Neil. There's the 236 of Joel Stanley Dawson. Kieran Bullock on the 816, I think that is. Yeah, and the rest of the riders then. A lot of injuries in this class as well. We're getting to that part of the season where guys are, and obviously they're running other championships as well. We've had a month between rounds and we've lost a few riders here and there. But the 15-second board will go up and we will be underway for Moto 2 of our Epic 125 Championship. Here we go. Good jump from Stat there, but it looks like it's going to be whoever was next to him is going to take the whole shot.
Marzak or
Marzak was on the inside.
Stapley then, it was one of them.
Yeah.
Stapley then. They're in the same race kit. So Stapley in second, he's getting pushed there by... he was nearly tucking the front. It's Drew Stock nearly tucking the front.
That's Arthur Moore on the TM in second.
Yeah, again.
So I won't say the minuscule because that's not, but he's a small lad.
That's Hayden Stat in the lead. So, again, so change of kit.
Yeah. just to keep our camera crew on their toes. But it's Arthur Moore there in second. It would look like stock third. Where was my last? Joel Winstanley Dawson.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, he put a move on stock then down the inside. Joel Winstanley Dawson took no prisoners there and moved over the red plate holder. He'll fancy a bit of this, will Joel?
Arthur just getting a little bit skew whiff, but this is where I'm going to highlight this step up to this class. Look, he's gone up to the 125s early. Look at the size of Arthur Moore in third, for example, compared to the rider behind him.
Or the rider, the rider in front of him.
Any rider in the class. Yeah, fair play, you know, and he's got the turn of speed. Great, gaining that valuable experience early doors. He's definitely going to be a future title contender, I'm sure, as this championship evolves going into the next few years.
Just starting to kick up, Jeff. It is all of a sudden, it's hard pack. And Joel Winstanley Dawson there.
It dries that quick up here as well because we're exposed. I mean, the telltale giveaway is the fact that there's a load of wind turbines and windmills in the vicinity. That's kind of like tells you.
That gives you a clue, up there. And none of them are moving.
You can see them all in the background, way back over there. Yeah, so we are a bit exposed up here on top of this man-made mountain.
I think that we've been gifted with the best weather ever here for this weekend.
Yeah, perfect.
There's the 142 off Chris Brindley. We'll get them across the line for the first time, and we will see on the K-Tech Tower who is doing what further down the field. But I did not see Ali Marjak out the sharp end in that opening flurry of corners, Jeff.
No, which obviously, again, from a championship standpoint, Drew Stock, again, doesn't need to mess about or race with Hayden Statt. Throw away as a championship trying to win the thing. All he needs to keep doing is he picks off Arthur Moore. He takes a long look over his shoulder, probably just going, okay, I've made a good start, let's just settle in. He's one of Ash Wiles' rider from the RMJ Academy, so they had to talk about this. He's won races in the 85 class, knows what it's about.
Joel Winstanley Dawson has checked out.
Yeah, he's on it
with this one. He's hanging on to the back of Hayden Statt, just under 3 seconds. And the man who made his debut in this championship at the start of the season has pushed his way past the red plate holder and is going after Hayden Statt. Stopped 6.7 seconds adrift already of our race leader.
Good start for your man. Brindley up there, top 5.
Good for Chris. Let's say I tagged him for third in the championship, so that was his year done right from the get-go.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to forgive you for that.
No, but he was good last year, solid rider, always in the top 10 pretty much, and a few top 5s and stuff. I didn't expect that we would have riders of the level of Joel Winstanley Dawson and Moore coming up, and Stapley and Waters making such an impact in the championship, which again, when you see really how things work, I shouldn't have thought that. But anyway, he's up there and having a decent run in 5th. Let's have a look. Marjak showing 12th, and he was 9th across the line, Jeff. So he is not having a great race. So a big gap from him to Joel Winstanley Dawson in the championship, which Winstanley Dawson will pull a bunch of points back on him. But in the big scheme of things today, he's coming second, and he will leave second.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Marjak, see what he does from back there. Obviously, for the best part, he's been running at the sharp end and impressing us from there. Now he's got to really dig deep. He's got stuff to do here to try and, because all the while that championship just little by little slipping away. So Drew Stock is very much in the driving seat in this one. Not necessarily winning the race, but again, extending his championship lead, because Hayden Statt is nowhere in the chat. Well, he's inside the top 10 now, at least. There's little Arthur Moore. I mean that in the most endearing way, not certainly in courage and conviction. He's a gritty little rider. Had the privilege of working him for a little while there when he was on Blue Crew Yamaha team, free flow team. So really focused young man, and he's putting a stormer together. Okay, a little change of tone here. Phil's jumped out for a bit of fresh air, and we're going to bring a different perspective in. She's amazed she's even in the booth, to be honest. But been around the sport a long time. Leah Yarrington. Leah, we brought you in because, A, you were wandering around the pits. Not looking lost, but we thought there's somebody that knows a thing or two about Motocross. You've done a bit of presenting. Obviously, wife of Chad as well. Great to see you.
Thank you.
How's everything going? Because I know you're busy. You do your personal fitness and stuff. Just quickly talk us through about what you're doing in life. And, of course, you're a mum now as well.
Don't remind me, Jeff. It's a nice break, actually.
Is it a nice break coming out?
Neil approached me. I thought, get me in there.
Get you
me in there quickly.
Yeah, so how are you finding it? You know, I mean, obviously you've been around this sport a long time. You've been there, you've seen it, you've done all the things with Chad as a girlfriend and a husband. You know how tough this sport is. What's it like from your perspective? And when you also do personal like training, I know you don't necessarily always train motocross riders or whatever, but when you put these fitness programs together for people, are you always kind of thinking, oh, come on, I'm from one of the toughest sports there is?
Well, yeah, so actually I got into motocross a long time ago. I met Chad through motocross anyway. My brother raced, so that's how we sort of met each other. And then, of course, Chad doesn't do things by half. Everything has to be very good. So, yeah, obviously with the kit and the team and everything, we've just had really big involvement in it over the years. But yeah, actually, when I first did my personal training stuff, I got into all my programs were written for motocross riders. Coaches didn't like that; they didn't understand it. That's what I was told, and I don't understand why you're doing that. It's hard to explain, isn't it, with motocross and the fitness side of things? So, but yeah, I do. I mean, mainly my things are Pilates, legs, bums, and tums. I like the old aerobic stuff at the moment. So completely different sides to motocross, but.
I think it's fair to say me and Phil need a bit of that. I think we've let ourselves go a little bit. I can say that because he's not in earshot. When he watches that back, he'll probably pull me up on that as Ollie Waters looks like he's going to make a move here on Archie Stapley for this battle for 6th place. He's going to slingshot round the outside. Yeah, so I really wanted to talk to you as well because I know like Chad's out there busy and now heavily involved with the team with Kawasaki, ex-Team Green Rider, of course. But he's out there now with this battle's going back and forth. Awesome stuff. Yeah, Ollie's got the slingshot through the whoop, so with the 772 team. But so from your standpoint, what's it like? Because this is so much like a team game, motocross. You know, you get out on. It's all very well. Once the crash helmet goes on, you're out on track and you're out on your own. But there's a lot of build up to it. So with that side of it, how do you manage all that kind of stuff when you worked with Chad down the years and you've seen him get frustrated, you've seen him
I've seen the
as
highs,
a partner,
I've seen the lows,
what's that like? It must be difficult as a partner, obviously now married, watching somebody out there going through and the risk involved. How difficult, how do you cope?
I'm a stress head.
Right,
He'll tell you that. I'm a stress head. He is very calm and collected. Any inconvenience, he's like, well, it's happened. Yeah. We'll get over it. I'm like, go to bed with it. I'm like, oh my God, that was so stressful. So yeah, things play on my mind all the time, but having Chad, someone like that, with that sort of mindset, it makes everything so much easier. He's calm. He's very level-headed. But it's so much going on, there's a lot of times I'm like, can you put your phone down? Can you put your phone down? We've all been there, we've all said it. But it's so much going on, not just with the kit, but the team especially. We've got the mechanics, we've got the other team manager messaging, we've got the riders messaging him, this isn't right, this has happened, this has gone wrong. I mean, obviously he's taken Tristan Purden on the other week, performing amazingly. Yeah. But Tristan went out practicing the other day, issues with the bike, big issues with the bike. So
it absolutely takes over your life, doesn't it, this sport?
Massively.
I mean, that must be a big advantage, though, because you've lived it and you've been involved with it for so long.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. There's only so much you can do.
It's just the way it is, isn't it? It's your lifestyle. That's
Suck
it.
it up. Get on with it. Yeah, it's fine. But it is hard. And like you said, I've seen it all. Seen the highs, seen the lows. Just deal with it. The team atmosphere this year is amazing. I mean, the families. Amazing. The run round I've missed so far, the ladies made lasagna for everybody. They put all the food on. So yeah, it's such a good atmosphere in camp at the moment. Everyone's happy.
Everybody's doing a great job over there. Just to bring you up there, you can see it on your K-Tech timing screen. Hayden Statt looking at this point really good to not only win his first race. This often happens in our sport.
Good lead.
Can't win a race, then you go and win one, and then you get two on a day. They come along like buses and you win the overall. I don't want to tempt fate too much, but he is looking comfortable. And of course, the riders behind him are battling in a championship. Here we go. We're on screen, Leah. Look at that. There you go. Looking much better than I do. Going back to the team, just talk us more about this, because another reason we got you in here, because really impressed with the fact that the guys are trying to get some fundraising up together.
Oh, they are.
To go and race the British GP. So tell us more about that. Obviously, there's a lot of people who don't even know the team we're talking about. So bring us up to speed with that.
They want to do the home rounds. Obviously, I mean, if you're not involved with teams, the budget is tight. they're not just given an unlimited budget. You can't actually go out and get a new bike, get parts. It's it's the entry fees, it's the hotels, it's the food for the mechanics, it's all that sort of stuff that everyone doesn't think about, and it is so costly. Obviously well worth it, and majority of the budget obviously for this year has been spent, it's been allocated. So what they're trying to do, they want to do the home round, and they got the 3 riders in now as well, and it'd be so good to see the boys out there, of course at Fox Hills. So they're trying to get a little bit of money in so that the boys can show the UK what we can do, what the team can do, and what they've been able to do so far, because they've been performing so well already. They've got these raffle tickets. Prizes are amazing. First 3 prizes, of course. One of them, you've got a full training day with Craig at 772. You've got hospitality to come into the Kawasaki, with the guys on the team. It's amazing. Have a little look at the of course, at the Facebook page, the Instagram page, and it will tell you what they've got on offer. It's well worth it, and you'll be supporting your great team. And if you don't win, exactly. Nobody likes losing, but just to be able to say that you supported the British team to get into the British GP is phenomenal.
And just remind everybody what the team is again.
It is 772 Ride Kawasaki.
That's right. Okay, now talking of the ride thing, very quickly before you nip back out, the ride race kit. So we do the ride race recap. Sometimes at the end of the day I really struggle to get my words out with that after talking all day. So talk us through what, the whole thing. Obviously, like Chad and a few business partners started ride race kit. From what I can tell, I don't know how many years ago that was because it goes so darn quick. That seems to be going pretty good.
It's snowballed and it's amazing. And I don't want to brag. I know he's my husband, but my God, he is passionate.
Yeah.
And he still works a full-time job. He comes home, he sits with the kids, we have our team, get the kids to bed, walk the dog, and then he's on the computer, and he's on the computer till sort of 3-4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, Jeff, just trying to get things done for people, and he's so passionate about it, and I sit there and I watch him, and I just think, why are you not doing this full time instead? But yeah, he's and it is, his designs are amazing. I love seeing. I'm watching.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, exactly.
Out there. Oakley actually designed some kits for Chad as well, so he's on the ball. But yeah, it's I love seeing the kit out there.
I guess it gets him out sometimes as well in the early parts of nappy duties and all that kind of stuff. As Lucas Moncrief, that old trick, as Lucas Moncrief moves up a spot there on the free flow Madison Crescent. Yamaha making a move, or has he, on Archie Stapley? These 2 young Yamaha riders. Archie's first year in the class, Lucas is second. Lucas has not quite put the season together that he wanted to. He's had a bit of a deficiency with bloods and stuff like that, so he's been a bit below par this season. He's been trying to sort of chase it down, feeling under the weather. That's led to a few little mistakes and frustration, so he's just got to get back on track. They are looking into it. I think it's a deficiency maybe in like B12. I think it was something like that. So he's now coming around. You'll understand all that, obviously, doing what you do. I mean, it's important to be... It's all very well training, but you've got to make sure that actually health, you're on top of it.
If you don't feel 100%, go out, even if you've got to pay privately, get a test. I've just recently had a test. I've got low iron levels.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it sorted. I'm going to feel much better after this. But, if you don't feel good, if you don't feel yourself, get out. Just go and get a little test done. Get yourself fixed, because it is when you don't know how well you can actually feel. Never felt 100%. Get yourself 100%. It makes such a difference. Mindset, physical set. It's just
absolutely, particularly in this game, because I've always said motocross is kind of like water. When water finds its own levels and any cracks, it seeps through, and that's kind of like what the sport is. If your brain's not quite where it should be, and any doubts or anything starts to happen, then this sport will find it. It will find any weaknesses you got. So these young riders, of course, they're young, they're full of beans, but at the same time, it's a professional sport, athletic sport, and they've got to stay on top of it. Well, look, I mean, it's been great having you in. Good to see you again, by the way, because you used to obviously do a bit of presenting as well. I think this is what we're edging towards here. Maybe we might have to get you more involved going forward.
Hey, if it means time away from the kids, sign me up. Take me today.
There you go. It's funny how many parents say that, actually. That would be cool. But Leah, great to see you. Keep up the great work. Obviously, everything that you guys are doing over there with the team is really cool to see. So keep up the good work, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, well, go enjoy the rest of the racing. So that was Leah Yarrington there, like I said, talking about everything about with the 772 team and all they're doing with Ride and everything like that. She's going to go out and enjoy the rest of the racing. Great to see her again. So, as we said, maybe we get Leah more involved. Phil is still out there enjoying his break out in the sunshine. So I'm going to keep it rolling here. As you can see, Arthur Moore is now, while we've been chatting, has just sort of dropped down a little bit, but it's still a fantastic ride from the youngster. I mean, he is that small. Drew Stock, I'm very impressed with this one with Joe Winstanley. Coming through early doors, Phil. You've been out there watching, actually got out and seen the track a bit more. Have you been over to this off-camber corner?
No, I didn't get over that far, but the rocks are unbelievable. Arthur Moore was riding without goggles. He tipped off at the end. So down the back straight, just last bit one corner. He tipped over a few laps ago, and he's riding with his goggles up around his armpit. For Joe Winstanley Dawson, I was going to say, if Grandad Ken's watching at home, he's not. He's here. I've seen him at the track this weekend. Joe Winstanley Dawson, he lives on this stuff.
I was just going to say, it's so similar to Kent's track.
Up there in,
all of that.
Wigan is exactly the same as this. And Joe Winstanley Dawson, he's 10 seconds down on Hayden Statt now with like 3 minutes and whatever to go. But he passed the championship leader and has motored away, and Drew Stock had a bit of a comeback after mid-race, but watching him out there, his corner speed is unbelievable. I think he's working with Justin Morris, and it shows. So Joe Winstanley Dawson, it will be a career best race result for him. He was 6th in race 1, Jeff, so Harley Marjak having a mare down there in 9th for no apparent reason, just didn't get the gate, isn't coming through. So this could be a podium for Joe Winstanley Dawson.
Yeah, and again a solid ride for Chris Brindle. He's put a good one together here. Drew Stock a little bit out of sorts today, but in the grand scheme of things, if this is a bad day, he is still gapping points on his nearest rival.
Look, that's all that matters. Drew Stock,
that's how it is.
It's not his first rodeo. Chuffed to bits for Hayden Statt if he's looking like he's going to go 1-1 for his first overall, winning it in style. And that's great to see, especially with the issues that he had earlier in the season. But now, as they we're running down there, is Harley Marjak on the 581 Espriggs Racing thing. He's there in 9th. He is on the back of his that teammate Archie Stapley.
It is. He's caught him pretty quickly as well. It's matter. I mean, that was a short-winded thing because he's got the outside. Archie just looking like he might have just hit the wall a little bit the last lap and a half. His body language suggests so. Hasn't quite got that same swagger as he did about 5 minutes ago.
But this is nothing like the track that these guys raced in the first race at lunchtime, Jeff. It's dried out a lot. It's a lot looser on the surface, and maybe that the thing that Marjak really fancied about it this morning just ain't his cup of tea this afternoon, and we've seen that. Hayden Statt then 10 seconds to the good on Joe Winstanley Dawson, but the youngster from up there in Wigan showing a really good turn of speed and justifying his third place championship position.
Yeah, just looking at the points here, it's top two are kind of it's relatively safe. I mean, Marjak's going to drop a few points here to win with Joe Winstanley Dawson. Still a fair old chunk of points back though when we came into this weekend. So there's going to be changes in the championship. Obviously, I think the real mover and shaker could be, if I'm looking at the overall results across the board, one rider that might actually move up a position or two could be Lucas Moncrief. I think he's going to go past Alfie Heron in the championship if you go on his race results today. So he should move up, and he might even get much closer to Archie Stapley at the minute. But the top four of Stock, Marjak, and Winstanley Dawson and Waters will probably pretty much stay as they are.
Yeah, Joel Winstanley Dawson will get a little bit more breathing space, like I say, over Waters, Stapley and Alfie Heron, and kind of underline his third in the points race as it stands at the moment. Like I say, Hayden Statt, obviously with 3 rounds to go after this one, is going to be wanting to add to that, and he will motor through and add points at rate if he keeps up his form at the moment. But I don't think he's going to be able to pull enough back on anybody else to figure in the overall top 3 of the championship.
No, and we're getting into 1 lap to go. We've kind of turned our attention away from Hayden Statt because he was riding off. I said to Leah there while you're out of the booth, it's always seems to be the way. It's so difficult to get that first win, and so often, once you get one, like the classic bus scenario, all of a sudden, 2 come along on the same day and you win your overall as well.
Yeah, and that's great to see. mean, from our point of view, we'd like to see a different winner. Obviously, with Drew Stott finishing second in the first race, it would have been nice to have had a tie on points and all the rest of it in a decent battle. But look, it's nice that riders have a breakout weekend like this, and it's been coming for so long for Hayden Staton. Like, let's not forget, he's still quite a young rider, and it was his first year in the championship last year. And again, he had a few injuries and stuff. So to come back from what he's come back from and a bounce back, obviously the whole Junior World Championship thing's going to that's going to grow arms and legs over the next few weeks. No,
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about making a statement. Like you said, he not on the Team GB for that. And well, if there's any way to put your point across, today he's done that.
Yeah. Look, it's 6.5 a dozen. No, he could have just easily come back to Dang on 10-10, Jeff. And
totally.
Nobody would have been any the wiser, but he hasn't. He's bounced back with what is looking like a double win on that Chambers KTM. A nice little bonus for Tim Chambers then, to after having a bit of a hard year with obviously Dan Thornhill being out through injury with a hand injury, and also losing Adam Sterry to a foot injury as well. So to get a nice 1-1 in the RFX 125 class it will round their weekend out nicely for sure.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks comfortable. He's obviously beaming under that crash helmet. He's got plenty to work with here. Just bring it in, no mistakes, 100% concentration just to get around these next couple of corners. No heroics over the camel's back, the dragon's back, just nice and steady. Although he's feeling it. I mean, he's still looking pretty slick. Just take it easy, I said, Jeff. You know, still launching. But then if you're in that rhythm, sometimes slowing up is worse.
You've got to keep your finger on the trigger.
Yeah. So it's going to be one lap to go now.
Yeah, I could see that hesitation in your voice.
No, because I was talking to you and didn't see the countdown clock. And I thought, has he gone over the line? Has he not? So I get to sit in here for another half a lap. No, shake out of the arms, understandable. He's probably getting a little bit of cramp in there after not racing for a while. But this will be such a big day if he brings it home here. Not only for him, but the family. You know, like, yes, winning races, coming through the youth ranks, 65, 85 is one thing. But yeah, when you step it up, this 125 championship now very much part of the main British Championship, as it were. We, of course, got the ACU British Youth Championship, where we do have 125s and 250s, but it's just kind of like this is the official 125 ACU title here. So, and to get out there and hopefully get it done.
A good fourth place for Chris Brindley. He will go, I think, where was he in the first one? 4:11. So not a great first race, but a bounce back for him. So 4:11. But yeah, my rudimentary maths for Joel Stanley Dawson with a 6.2, that will put him on 37 points, which will top what everybody else has done, because Lucas Moncrief, currently he's on a 5.7, so that's not going to do the job. And first race leader Ali Marjak with a 3, wherever he is at the moment, with a 3.8. He is also not going to make the cut. So not the first podium, I think. I think when Stanley Dawson was on the podium at Preston Docks as well. So it's not his first visit, but a little bit more, what's the word? A convincing podium. He's chasing down a man who is certainly on great form. And just bringing it in then for the final few turns. Jeff will get down there in winner's circle and find out how it feels to be a double race winner for the first time in the RFX 125 British Championship. Props for him for that. There is the checkered flag for Hayden Statt. Congrats to him, and a fantastic second then for the 2:36 Winstanley gas of Joel Winstanley Dawson. Take the Winstanley family then, part of motocross folklore up there in the northwest of England, and great to see another generation of them at the sharp end. That was a great ride. Stock comes across the line in third. Then it should be Brindley, Waters, Finley J, Lucas Moncrief, Harley Marjak, Alfie, Archie Stapley and Jensen 7, who goes 10-10. And I think that's his best. That's his best performance here so far. Arthur Moore comes home. Marjak sneaks past Moncrief on the last lap, so that will give him another couple of points, but certainly not enough to get him on the box. He will be disappointed with that. Yeah, Moore finishes 11th after being second for quite a while before tipping off and losing his goggles. A good result. Went begging there, but Moore has the speed. The last few riders coming home. So Jeff is making his way to winner's circle. We will go and have a few words from our partners, and we will be back with our race winner, double race winner, Hayden Statt, talking to Jeff.
Is Dirt Store. We're your one-stop shop for everything off-road. Find all of the latest products from the top off-road brands. Whether it's gear, parts, protection or accessories, Dirt Store has everything you need to hit the track. Shop fast, ride fast.